drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the roads throw at them. Know your rights and how to avoid common mistakes after an accident by getting your free copy at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Let's go!
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma.
Give me a freaking auto!
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
Brock Heward and Matt Marcus. Sorry about just Mike.
Heward, not exactly Joe Cap there in the pocket.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Heward and Mike Salk.
All right, Brock and Salk Show, Seattle Sports on 710 SeattleSports.com and the Seattle Sports app. I hope you're using the app this week because there's a ton of great video, there's a ton of great audio, ton of great sound, ton of great interviews. I hope you're following the station on Instagram where Justin is putting together some work.
Justin's barely sleeping. Every time I see him, he's working on some kind of social media.
Justin is putting in work down here. It's amazing. He gets off our show, and now he does a lot of work. It's crazy how that happens. He used to be here with us, and now he's like off on his own doing all the social stuff. Now he does a lot of work. It used to be that, he'd kind of take his time, go for a bike ride or scooter ride or whatever it is Justin does, and now, now he's hard working.
You see his little nerd setup in the media room, too?
Dude, you should see the bag he carries
He looks
around.
like Mike Sando. Mike Sando's got like 4 screens at the draft room, right? He's got all this technology.
Anyway, there's a ton of good stuff, whether it's Twitter or Instagram or wherever you find the station. Please do, because Justin, honestly, jokes aside, is doing really cool stuff and giving just a great look into everything that's been going on down here. It's been really fun. We did chat with Julio yesterday after the show, and we think we're going to have that interview for you tomorrow. Details to come.
Yes.
But it was interesting. We went down to watch him take BP. I have my buddy and his 11-year-old here, Jackson. And Jackson's an aspiring catcher. He got to see Cal for a couple minutes, which was cool. And then we went over to watch Julio take some BP. And then we were like, okay, well, that was cool. Let's head back. He's only got maybe one thing left. And we want to get ready, maybe do an interview. As soon as I leave, Brock, you walk over, and what happens?
Yeah, he just hits the ball right off his knee. Just about the same spot Cal got me. And, there was a little... and he was not a happy camper.
Let's be clear. Brock came over and said the Julio interview is not going to happen. I think he just broke his leg.
Yeah, he's done.
And he's just fine.
They're going to amputate.
Wow,
it looks like they're going to amputate on the field.
Brock literally said, I think Julio's not going to do the interview.
Yes.
In fact, he might have just broken his leg.
Yes.
And 3 minutes later, Julio was taking swings. He was just fine. I mean, obviously it hurt.
Yes.
I don't mean to minimize it.
It was still hurting when he was doing the interview.
I think so, too. Yeah. I mean, but that was definitely...
He took it better than the foul ball you took off.
No, that's fine. I mean, I got up. I kind of yelled a little bit, too, but I didn't have to curse. I would
say he was hurt, not injured.
Yes.
I think is a fair way to describe it. It hurt, but he was uninjured.
But had you seen the reaction, you'd have been like, uh-oh, that was not your normal. Because they didn't have any of their gear on. They don't wear any of their, right? And he took his own. His reaction was a little scary, but he'll be fine.
Anyway, it is cool to see and just kind of be around him a little bit and kind of just feel his presence here. It's large. It looms over everything, right? In a good way.
Does it feel like to you, and again, this is my little psychology, sometimes maybe paralysis over analysis, does it feel like he even sitting with us, but a little bit more edge?
Yep.
Just a little bit more edge.
Growing into being a superstar, man. I mean, I've been around a few of them over the years. They learn, and I say this with respect.
All due respect.
Yeah, they learn how to keep people at arm's length.
Yes.
They have to.
Yes.
I was just talking to him in the other room. I don't think this would be anything out of bounds.
Oh, boy.
No. I mean, one thing he said to us yesterday, he loves to play video games. He loves Call of Duty. That's sort of his thing.
Yeah.
And he gets here early. I mean, he was here at 6:30 this morning. He was one of the first guys here. He's here every day, real early.
Yep.
So he was eating breakfast in there, and I just saw him and said, hey, why so early?
Right.
And he was like, I like to get everything done. And I said, are you an early person normally? He's like, no, not really. I like to sleep, but I'm here in training. I want to get stuff done. I was like, well, do you nap? I'm a napper. Like, let me tell you, I like to take a good nap. And he was like, yeah, sometimes I'll crash out on the couch for a while, but I like to play video games with my buddies in the Dominican.
Yeah.
And they're 3 hours ahead.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think I said, well, have you met friends in Seattle? He says, yeah.
It's hard.
I was like, I can't imagine how hard it would be. Dude, it's hard for anyone to make friends in Seattle with the Seattle Freeze deal. How hard do you think it is for the Mariners superstar Julio Rodriguez to just make friends with people that don't want something from him?
Good luck. I mean, really? How? Why? How? Tell me. Yeah, even yesterday, honestly, like he that got fouled off his knee, came back in, did all his swings, and he gets done. And of course, the most of the fans around there, when we talk about stars in this city and who's a star in this city, is a star. And they're yelling for him, Julio, Julio, Julio. And he honestly said, and I was standing by him at that point, like, why not how are you?
Right.
How's your knee? You okay?
Right.
And it's just like, no, I just want a picture with you.
I just want to yell Julio.
Yes, and I want you to sign something for me.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a weird. Now, obviously, dude gets compensated, and there's a million great things about it. But I do. I find myself thinking, what would it like to actually be in those shoes instead of the sort of like just the surface of like, oh, I bet it's awesome to be Julio. I bet it is. But I bet it comes with,
I bet
some interesting challenges.
I bet after a week you'd be like, okay, I'm good.
Right. I'd like to go back to
Can I
me.
have my friends?
Yeah.
Can I have my privacy? Right. Watching Peyton, as I have through the years, and he wants to go watch his kids ice hockey. Right. Where does your daughter play?
That's at the Kraken Iceplex.
Oh, the Kraken.
Yeah, KCI. Yeah.
Yes.
Kraken Community Iceplex.
Try to get one in a segment.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks. Cha-ching!
If he was there, because I've seen him with his kids. He's got that's why he loved COVID, to wear a mask and he could hide out. I mean, when he walks in, it's like, okay, where can I duck out? Where can I find some place
everywhere he goes? He's
yes, where I can just kind of watch.
And I've seen what it's like for you at times walking around Seattle. I obviously Peyton is at a different level of fame. I can only imagine what it's like to be him or Julio or somebody on that level.
But there is a little just more edge, and you'll hear him say to us, I think you will, when he said, there were times where I think last year and in these years I'm trying to do something because I'm supposed to.
Right.
As a leader and as a superstar, I'm trying to do it, and it's like, no, I got to just be who I am. And I think who he is has a little bit, and we've seen it. We saw a flare up with the umpire the other day. Yeah. Right. We've seen some of these flare ups with that freaking relief pitcher that I wish he would have bashed right in the face with his fist. Right. Like he's got a whole lot of fun and charisma and joy, but there is the other side of that sword that's got a ferocious competitive edge, and balancing those things will be fun to watch once again for him.
So it's been cool.
Sun's rising. Look at that. Oh, good Mary. Good morning.
We only got a couple more days of this, which, as you know, I start feeling the impending end of our trip way too early. It's only Thursday, and I'm already feeling man.
Yeah, but tonight's the feast.
Tonight is the feast. Brock, how is everything looking for the feast?
Oh, it's going to be great.
What are we making tonight?
Yeah, we're going to do a little of what we did last year. I don't remember the potatoes I made for you last year. I think I just went real cheapo on those and did. Today I'm going to do my onion Lipton onion mix recipe, and I quarter the little potatoes, and we put them in the olive oil, and we shake them up, and we let them saturate for a while, and then we bake them.
Okay.
So we're going to have some
What's the
crispy
meat? What's
potatoes.
The meat
oh, we're going filet. I only do the best for you guys.
Okay, well, that's very nice.
We only go Costco USDA.
Would my parents bought some pre-marinated chicken the other day.
Do you want to bring that?
Well, I was offering to bring it.
Yeah, no, we're good.
You don't want it?
No. We're going to do. You don't mix chicken and steak.
Really?
No. Absolutely.
Or would you want any?
Absolutely. Yes.
I just don't eat a ton of meat, so if there's filet, I'm probably not going to double up on meat.
All right, well, fine.
That's very nice of them. No, it's great.
I'll tell them not to bring it. I mean, obviously, if you don't want it.
No, if you want to do the shrimp,
the shrimp would be okay, but not.
I would do shrimp. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll sort of search for.
We'll do a Caesar salad. We'll do the potatoes. We'll do the filet.
All right.
I think Shanny's going to do the dessert or has the dessert.
She was finishing it up last night when I got home.
So we'll be just fine.
All right.
And then I'll find what other.
Well, Larry's going to be here at 9:45 today to close out the show. He says that he's got a lot of ammunition. He would really like to fight back after feeling like a bit of a whipping boy. You feel like he's taking.
I mean, the way you presented him, it's almost been abusive.
Has it?
Yes.
Like elder abuse.
Yes, to his dog. You have almost.
Oh, like he's been abusive.
Yes.
I thought you meant I've been abusive to him.
Well, that too. I mean, I think it works both ways.
I don't think I said abusive. I think they've just been arguing with with each other. I mean, I would say that Walter gives it right back to him.
You've said like it's an old dog and he's yelling at it. You have made it seem a little.
That's true. Well, it is kind of mean. A lot of people suggesting that Mora could bring Rabbit if we need one more.
Kill the rabbit.
Yesterday,
Kill the rabbit. Kill the rabbit.
Did you see what Justin did? Speaking of all the content he's putting out, yesterday he posted a picture of it was a beautiful sunrise. And then someone said no animals were harmed in the making of this picture or something. Because he had posted pictures of me taking pictures of the sunset.
Oh.
And then he did the little animal emoji and maybe a violent emoji after that.
Nice.
Poor Mora. The world is really against
It was a
her.
year ago at this time.
Yeah.
I think it was this day a year ago.
I promise not to
Kill
golf
the rabbit.
anymore.
That was back when you used to go play golf with us down here,
Yes.
and now you've sort of ended that tradition.
Yep.
Unfortunately.
No golf for me.
All right.
Great bomb yesterday, bro. That thing was a bomb. Yes.
That's Rowdy Telez, who's walking by. He is a large human being.
Like that guy.
And
I like big people.
would you like to hear the bomb that he hit?
Yeah.
Well, stick around. We'll play it as part of Need to Know next.
The John Schneider Show.
Every Thursday until draft day on Wyman and Bob.
We are now speaking with the architect of your Seattle Seahawks.
How we doing, football fans?
With Seahawks President of Football Operations and General Manager John Schneider.
My job is to do what's best for the Seattle Seahawks organization. I have to keep wrapping my mind around that and trying to communicate effectively.
Listen live Thursdays at 4 p.m. or watch the interviews on the Seattle Sports YouTube page.
What's the standard the Seahawks defense needs to be held to under Mike McDonald?
The John Schneider Show.
Brought to you by Pizza Hut.
Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest. The best place to watch all your favorite sports. Featuring wall-to-wall viewing screens, 6 windows, and 30 kiosks. Be there at emeraldqueen.com. Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest.
Hey, it's Jason Rantz. Our local tax expert Greg Nunn wants taxpayers to know the IRS is now going after older cases very aggressively. If you received Form CP-504 from the IRS, do not ignore it. Be proactive and resolve your situation with Greg Nunn, N-U-N-N, None Better Tax Resolution.
Something amazing is happening in education. Students are inspired and engaged. That's because school districts consulted with CDW, who designed modern classroom solutions with pre-configured HP devices, making learning more accessible, secure, and immersive. Now when students study topics like elephants, it feels like elephants are there with them. HP and CDW. Make amazing happen. Learn more at cdw.com/HPPSG.
Jackson Hewitt wants you to save money on tax prep. We're saving money by having our intern rap in this commercial.
Don't stress, Jackson Hewitt's got expert tax prep, 149 or less. Yo, some tax guys lie about price. They got hidden fees, that ain't nice. Ain't nice. Don't ignore MC Kevin's rhyme, cause this deal's for a limited time. 149.
For tax prep that's $149 or less, hurry into Jackson Hewitt today.
No cap.
Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149. Jackson Hewitt wants you to save money on tax prep. We're saving money by having our intern rap in this commercial.
Don't stress, Jackson Hewitt's got expert tax prep, 149 or less. Yo, some tax guys lie about price. They got hidden fees, that ain't nice. Ain't nice. Don't ignore MC Kevin's rhyme, cause this deal's for a limited time. 149.
For tax prep that's $149 or less, hurry into Jackson Hewitt today.
No cap.
Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
Febreze. It's a classic odor tale. You fried fish for dinner, cleaned up, but the smell is still in the house. And the neighbors are coming over for game night. They're on their way. And then you spray Febreze Air Mist. Febreze Air starts working instantly to fight even your toughest odors, so you go from fish to fresh like that. Now, all you have to worry about is Pam cheating at charades.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED, because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs, with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED. but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
We are Seattle Sports, the home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports.
Watch your favorite show live at seattlesports.com. Xfinity here. How can we help?
Hi. My daughter invited her entire class to her birthday party. Can my Wi-Fi handle it?
Oh, well, at Xfinity, our latest gateways have tri-band Wi-Fi technology, letting you connect hundreds of devices at once.
No way. So if all the kids are watching stuff on their phones, well, their parents are sharing videos online.
Yep, go ahead and watch videos. They can all do their thing and party their way. No problem.
Oh, we are gonna need a bigger cake.
Now through March 4th, get fast, reliable Xfinity Gig Internet for $25 a month for 1 year with no annual contract and Wi-Fi equipment included when you add an unlimited mobile line. And ask how to get an eligible free 5G phone with trade-in. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply. Requires PayPal split and auto-pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. After promo, regular rates apply. Xfinity Internet required. Reduced mobile speeds after use of monthly data included with your data option. Data thresholds and actual internet speeds vary.
The LJ way is the Lee Johnson Auto Family.
Hello, hello. Welcome to Lee Johnson Auto Family. This is King. This organization's a special one. They call it the Lee Johnson Auto Family, and it's not just a name, it's not just some cliche. They foster an environment for us to become a family, to work together, to really become close, and they show us in a lot of different ways that they do value us. Is it perfect? No, no place is. But I've been very thankful to be here in the almost 10 years and have every plan to stay here for a lot longer and just watch it continue to grow.
He's fun and professional, which explains why so many people visiting Lee Johnson Kia ask for him by name. The LJ way is the Lee Johnson Auto Family.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. Up first.
Well, pretty similar result yesterday for George Kirby as his other starting brethren so far. He really dominated the first inning, hit 98 and what looked like just an effortless delivery from him. Second inning, maybe starting to get away from him a little bit. He was lifted without recording a fourth out, but ultimately a pretty good first start of the year for George Kirby, who's been a quiet figure, I would say, here compared to the other guys in that starting rotation, but sure looked good yesterday.
Yeah, weird to see him ever walk anybody.
Yeah.
And then to walk two people.
Right.
It was like, oh, wow.
It just, that has a real spring training feel to it.
Yes, it does.
A real, I'm working on something.
Yes, it does.
Kind of feel. Offensively, not the same kind of run support that we've been seeing, but this big old bomb from Rowdy Tellez was noticeable.
The windup and the 0-1 pitch, swinging a fly ball deep into the gap in left center field, going out to the berm, and goodbye baseball. Welcome to the Seattle Mariners, Rowdy Tellez. That ball was shot out of a cannon, and we have a tie game. Mariners won and the A's won, and that's what Tellez can do. He can hit a baseball a long, long way.
Well, he can because he's a really big dude. Big lefty. That ball actually went to right center, but whatever. It was torched, I think, 438
I think that happened within 12 seconds of you sitting down next to us, where you were just like, oh, good Lord.
It was really...
It was a laser.
Really well hit.
Yes.
Yeah, it led me to a conclusion. I'll talk to you guys about
Vogelbach?
it at 7 o'clock.
Yeah, it's kind of Vogelbach.
No,
vibes.
that's not it.
That? No?
No.
Okay. All right.
I don't know that the two things are necessarily related, but it did lead me to something. We'll talk about it at 7 o'clock.
Okay, great.
Again, they didn't score, 5 runs yesterday? I think it only was after the 11, 12, 11 of the previous few games. But they've been playing some pretty good baseball. We saw some pretty good defense played in this game for the first time. Dan Wilson, we asked him just to shout out one guy that he thought was having just a good camp, and I think he took it in not just a politically correct direction, but one that felt very real. Here's cut 2.
You're going to think I'm going to be diplomatic about this, but I'm not going to mention one because all of them came into the camp
very, very prepared. I think that's one of the things, and we've talked about it as a staff in there, that we've all been very impressed with. They came into this camp. They've put a lot of work into the offseason to a man. That's been really, really great to see. Sometimes you get to camp and there's a guy over here or two guys over here that didn't do the work. You can tell on day one. There has been, it's actually been the opposite, where we've gotten to camp and day one we're like, wow, these guys have really put in the work to be ready. That's an awesome feeling.
What's interesting too, Salk, is obviously the offensive side of this kind of paradigm has been challenged for a number of years. The pitching is not. And like yesterday when you watch a minor league pitcher come in there and walk guys and hit guys and walk guys, and you're like, wow, that is just so not Seattle Mariners. It's going to be almost impossible for you to ever make this club if you ever pitch like that again. And that's just how the standard that they have here.
Yeah. Split squad action today. Half the team will be in Surprise against Texas. Everyone else is here against the Giants.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
All right, well, a day after John Schneider met with the media in Indy at the Combine, it was Mike McDonald's turn yesterday. Unsurprisingly, a lot of the focus on the changes to the offense and this new offensive system, Cut 5. He talked through all of the various coaches that he's brought in to be and surround Clint Kubiak.
I thought it was important for Clint to be able to work with guys that he has a prior relationship with, just having alignment on each side of the ball. Having done it a couple times where you haven't had those relationships, I understand that sometimes it's difficult. And with this particular scheme, there's a lot of nuances and that, kind of take the test of time to iron out all the details. So it's not like we have to go back through steps 1 through whatever to get up and running. So I thought that was really important. But these guys are some of the best in the business too. So to be able to add great coaches to your staff, great experiences, different types of skill sets and thoughts and backgrounds, I thought was important as well. So I felt like it was a great mix.
Yeah, you're going to win with details in this scheme, and we have said that a whole bunch. It's not going to be like it was a little bit of last offseason and OTAs of like, oh my gosh, what is this college scheme going to look like, and how much tempo are they going to have, and how much are they going to do, and how much innovation. No, it's not going to be that. It's going to be the nitty-gritty details. In fact, I was chatting with Logan yesterday after the show and walking through some grips, and he has enormous hands and everything else. And did you notice Bryce Miller's fingernails when we were sitting here?
Well, it was hard not to when you touched his hands.
I touched his hands?
Oh, yeah.
What? I touched whose hands?
It's like a thing. I've heard about it.
Brock, you touched Bryce's hands.
What's wrong with Brock?
When you did it, I kind of gasped, and then apparently Kyle saw it and was like...
Pardon me?
Yeah.
What
Have
happened?
you not watched the video?
No.
Oh, well, we'll show you it.
I think Justin said Betsy brought it up, too.
You touched his hands.
I touched his hands?
Yeah.
I'm having no recollection.
Oh, my God, that almost makes it worse. Yeah, I'm so glad. This is what I was going to start the show with today, and then I totally mind blanked on it.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh, Brock,
Really?
you touched his hands.
Interesting.
Oh, no, I'll show you the video.
I'm not even going
going
to get to the point about the fingernails
No, please don't,
and Logan Gilbert's
'cause now it's
nails.
creepy.
And, yeah, never mind. Next.
Just super, super creepy.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
You really don't remember that?
Oh, I think with the grip,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, it was not a... So stop it.
What do you mean stop it? Everybody has noticed this. This is not a me thing. I noticed it in the moment and kind of shuddered.
You think that's why he kind of flushed the, hey, who called you Alan Jackson? Like he didn't even want to think about
I think
the
he was
memory?
done talking to you after you touched
Weird.
his hands. Yeah, I think that's
Okay.
why he hasn't thrown a football with you. A little surprised to see the Seahawks fall one spot in the Players Association report cards. 15th this year, down from 14th a year ago. That said, it seems like they're doing a really good job of listening to the feedback they're getting. Last year, players said they needed a family room. Then they built one. Now the complaints included a smaller training room and a tub room, and guess what? They announced plans to renovate and improve both of those this offseason. So not perfect, obviously, middle of the pack, but doing it sounds like a pretty good job.
Did you study the grades of everybody else on that?
I
by the
didn't
way?
get that
Here, oh, I'm going to
involved
pull it up
yesterday.
right now because I'm kind of curious to see the...
I mean,
Yeah,
obviously.
The lowest grade for the Seahawks was ownership, right? That was a C.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to see, well, I guess the Falcons ownership A+, Ravens ownership A. My thought would have been it's really hard for
Right.
ownership in that position. But
Mike McDonald got some really good reviews. 100% of players said he maximized their time and didn't waste it. But the big news coming out of the Combine, Brock, did you hear Jordan Schultz and Ian Rappaport apparently got into it at the Starbucks in the JW Marriott? Now, I'm sure I'm not the only person making this joke today, but do you feel like Rappaport maybe felt like he was on enemy territory having to do it in a Starbucks? Like, oh, fine, you want to do it on home field in your dad's store? Okay. Anyway, they were fighting about
over this Brady report.
Yeah, one guy said that that Brady hosted him. Rappaport then said no, they ran into each other, and then
Schultz said that Brady had Stafford over to talk about being
and
the
then
quarterback.
Schultz said, if you believe they just ran into each other, I got a bridge to sell you. Then Schultz verbally accosted Rappaport at the Starbucks.
Like a good media
If you
fight.
have anything to say it to my bleeping face. Schultz reportedly said, if this continues, we're going to have a bleeping problem.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Who are you taking in that one?
I'm not. I'm moving right along. That is everything you need to know. Quarter past every hour.
Have you ever met Jordan Schultz?
No.
I've never met Jordan Schultz.
I know that Ian Rappaport's just a nerd in a suit, so I don't know where that goes. I mean, like... Anyway, all right. Coming up next, Logan Gilbert, Brock, a man with very large hands, and
I didn't touch his hands.
Thankfully, no.
Okay.
I think you touched his hair though, and that was a little awkward as well. Logan, coming up next, Brock and Salk, Seattle Sports on 710.
Seattle Sports, your home for Bump and Stacy.
I'm at the gym. I be low key at the gym. I be hat on, hoodied on, headphones in.
So no one recognizes you? Are you a celebrity?
No.
Stop. You get sunglasses on too.
I just get in my zone and block everybody out. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
But I could block this out.
Okay.
One day I'm looking at this guy and he's wearing a Kobe jersey. So I'm really feeling him. I go, that's my guy right there. He doesn't even know. Then I walk in today and my man has on a Larry Bird jersey. And I stopped my workout. I went over him. I go, hey, bro. Sir. I go, hey, you can't do that.
Streaming on your smart speaker.
Hey, Mike Salk here, and luxury is awaiting you at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel, where comfort meets elegance. This summer, the new hotel is opening up, and it is going to be sweet. In fact, there are going to be suites, grand suites, signature suites, deluxe king, 2 queen, premium king, and 2 queen, everything that you would look for, plus the breathtaking views of the Cascades and the Snoqualmie Valley, a destination spa, the big entertainment space and convention center. Yep, they're combining effortless style with the utmost relaxation and some great new food as well. Make sure you go to snocasino.com. It is Seattle's closest, and now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
The nonprofit Puget Sound Senior Baseball League plays real baseball on the best fields. The season's first tryout for adults ages 18 to 65 and older is this Sunday, March 2nd at Hogan Park at Russell Road in Kent. With 10 divisions featuring different age and skill levels, there's room for almost every ball player, from ex-Little Leaguers to high school and even former college and pros. Get all the info at pssbl.com. That's pssbl.com.
Discover LeMay, America's car museum in Tacoma. Explore 300 world-class cars, 100 years of history, and the Shinka exhibit with 50 iconic Japanese sports cars. Thrilling race simulators and fun for the whole family. Visit americascarmuseum.org.
Hey, it's Jason Rance. Our local tax expert Greg Nunn wants taxpayers to know the IRS is now going after older cases very aggressively. If you received Form CP-504 from the IRS, do not ignore it. Be proactive and resolve your situation with Greg Nunn, N-U-N-N, None Better Tax Resolution.
Safety comes first. When money is tight, don't neglect maintenance on your vehicle. Keep it safe. At Bucky's Complete Auto, we have you covered with available financing. For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto has been servicing and repairing cars and trucks with modern-day technology and good old-fashioned customer service. There's a Bucky's just about everywhere for oil changes, wiper blades, brakes, tire rotation, tune-ups, and factory maintenance. No appointment necessary and financing's available. Check Bucky's.com for the location near you.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Being young with unlimited energy to burn. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think you could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
All guys lose their edge when they turn 40. The body has less testosterone. That's why I take Nugenix Total T.
I've heard about Nugenix. That really works?
Since I started taking Nugenix, I'm lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. I feel more energized at work. It's even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try?
Yep, send a text. It's that easy.
Text GRIT to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text GRIT to 42424. That's GRIT to 42424. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
It's
time to go all in at Toyota of Kirkland. All in on the largest savings opportunities on the largest inventory of Tacomas, Tundras, Prius, and the BZ4X. The incredible team at Toyota of Kirkland is all in on your car buying experience. They'll set you up with a test drive and you can take that car home on the same day. Come on down to Toyota of Kirkland and get all in on the best deals with the best inventory. Check out their wonderful showroom today or go all in online at toyotaofkirkland.com.
Headed outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nellie on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on seattlesports.com.
There she is, founder and CEO. High five.
Dave can't stop celebrating with every business owner in town.
All right, Baker Man, high five.
He's sharing the excitement of big savings with the Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee.
Ooh, up top, bike shop. Yeah.
It's 5 years of gig speed internet.
Quick, high five.
5 years of advanced security.
5 years.
And 5 years of a great rate that won't change.
Yeah, law partners. Chamberlain, Messethorpe, Dubois.
All from the company with 99.9% network reliability. Switch today and get the 5-year price lock guarantee.
5 years.
It's back, but only for a limited time.
Woo!
Powering 5 years of savings, powering possibilities. Comcast Business.
Can't forget you, voiceover guy.
Ah, thanks, Dave.
High five.
Ends 3/9/25. Guaranteed rate applies to monthly service charge for new customers on qualifying internet bundle, excluding taxes and fees. Other restrictions apply.
They say teachers don't impact for a year, but for a lifetime. Hi, this is Rick Riz. Join WSECU, your local credit union, as we celebrate those who give so much with the Teacher of the Week program. Nominate a teacher you feel has changed a life in our community. Each week throughout the season, we'll honor one teacher with a $500 grant, courtesy of WSECU. Teachers are the real MVPs. Find out more and nominate a teacher at mynorthwest.com/teacher.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Brock and Salk's Rewind is presented by Toyota of Kirkland.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
All right, rolling along here, Mariners spring training, Brock and Salk Seattle Sports on 710. And I think one of, I've said this a couple of times.
A tradition like none other.
I don't know if it's quite that, but it's been one of our favorite parts of spring training each year is our annual sit-down with Logan Gilbert, who I think is one of the best interviews on this team. I don't know whether you ever thought that would be the case, but that has become true over the years. How are you, sir?
Good. Thanks for having me. I never really thought about it that way.
Was that a goal of yours to really become a great interview?
I didn't know it was till you just said it, so I guess so.
Great radio interview.
Is that a weird part of kind of growing into being a big leaguer, is sort of learning how to do media and not just, meeting with the press every day, meeting with idiots like us who come down to talk to you for an extended period of time? How did you go about learning to do that?
Yeah, the first year is kind of weird. And coming from a mid-major college, I didn't have a ton of experience, too. I feel like guys nowadays and SEC, ACC get a little bit of it. But you kind of learn on the fly. And first year is weird. You mess up more than you want to, but eventually you get used to it.
Someone give you advice along the way?
They do a pretty good job here, actually, the media team, and kind of tell us some things that obviously you should not say, but it's better to say it before somebody actually says it on the air. And you listen to people over the years and just, get used to it.
Just kind of more comfortable in your own skin.
They have an actual book of cliches, or do you have to make those up yourself, or is there something you can look at?
You just hear them from other people, write them down, and be sure to use them.
Take it one game at a time.
Tim Heavily passes out note cards.
Yeah,
they study all the note cards.
Exactly.
Hey, anything new this time around?
Nothing crazy. Pretty similar. Same stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Same stuff. Nothing
same crazy. Training, same routine, same kind of
all the weird
process.
stuff. Yeah, you'll see the same gadgets and all that kind of stuff.
Nothing new added to it?
Pretty similar to last year. I felt like I came into spring in a good spot and timed it up. A lot of it nowadays is trying to be ready for opening weekend and working your way backwards from there. And I think I did a good job last year. So more or less pretty similar to how it was.
Opening weekend.
Yeah, opening weekend.
So that's pretty open-ended about what day it could be on opening weekend. Could be Thursday. Could be Friday.
I was sure to say that.
We won't dig too deeply into that because that's out of your hands, right? I mean, you're not going to decide who starts when.
Yeah.
But I would assume that's still a goal, right? To be an opening day starter.
Definitely a big goal. Yeah, I mean, eventually, hopefully, in my career, I get to that point. I don't know when it'll be, if it's this year or years down the road. I just want the ball at some point. If I get it in the first 5 days, I'm fine. Because we have 5 number 1 starters. It feels like anybody could be opening day, so we'll be all right either way.
If it were to happen, total hypothetical, what would that mean to you at this stage of your career?
It's huge just because, I mean, one, all the other guys on our team are very deserving. So just being in category with those guys is it means a lot. But trust coming from the organization, too, and them saying that, you know, whoever's 1 or 2 or whatever it is, like, we trust you, we want you to have the ball, and we feel good with our chances that if you have it, we're going to win the game. That says a lot.
Is that a delicate balance with a veteran guy like Luis? Is that something that you and Luis would even ever talk about?
Luis, he's honestly one of the best people I've ever met in baseball, so it's hard to step on his toes, and I've probably done things that I should have just accidentally, but he laughs at everything. He's given me so much good advice over the years. Just has one of the best presence about him for baseball, whether it's huge playoff start or just random day. Just an awesome guy. So, no, we haven't talked about anything like that, but he's so laid back.
Give me 2 or 3 things. If as you say there, like, he's done so many things. He said so many things. He's been such a great teammate. You have an anecdote or 2 that really jump out in that regard?
Couple of things, yeah. So the first thing that comes to my mind last year, he bought me that watch for the All-Star game, which says a lot, and just left it in my locker, didn't say a word. It wasn't in front of everybody. He went out on the field, started his warm-up and all that kind of stuff. It wasn't like he didn't even want to know it was him. He just put it in my locker because he thought he wanted to do something nice. So it wasn't about him, anything like that. The other thing, one midweek bullpen, I was just kind of overthinking everything, as I do sometimes.
Say no.
He's right there.
Right.
And he is the opposite, just, you know, Mr. Cool, laid back. So he's watching me and all this stuff. Doesn't say a word till afterwards, and he could tell I'm still thinking about it. And it's so simple and so laid back, but he told me, don't change anything, don't think about anything, and don't try so hard. And those 3 things, I still hold on to him. He probably doesn't even know he said them to me, but he embodies that so well and gave me that, and I still hold on to it.
You know, it's funny. Some guys, when you're, you know, on the outside as we are, it's really hard to get a sense as to who they are inside the clubhouse and around their teammates. Nothing you just said about Luis Castillo surprises me one bit. Just from what the little we get to see, and again, he's not even giving interviews in English, so we get a very small view. That's the exact presence that he exudes just walking around here. That's pretty interesting that he's able to do that.
Yeah, and I would say he's the same every single day, too. It's what you think he is, but it's also there's no off days really with him. It's what you see is what you get, and he's going to be that way all the time. That's what you want from a leader in the clubhouse.
So if he's that leader and that, you know, great guy in the rotation, Bryce is obviously on the other side of that. Sorry.
Hey, you talked to him yesterday, so you're the one that said it. I would tell him the same thing.
He fools you, though.
He does.
He got that little fox. Like, he tries to play that Alan Jackson, Texarkana, and he knows exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, he does. I actually played Alan Jackson yesterday, and I was like, you kind of look like this guy. And he's like, somebody else told me that today. I said, I think it was you guys.
Yeah, it was.
But he knows all the numbers. He knows everything.
He didn't know who we are or remembered who we were, but he knew that.
I really thought he and I had a connection. Dang it.
Next year, for sure.
Yeah.
That goofy Macaulay Culkin with Down syndrome guy out there.
Right.
I thought he.
Stop that.
What?
I know.
All right, whatever.
Tell me about pitching angry. We talked to Cal. Actually, that interview is not going to air till tomorrow, but we talked to Cal, and he was kind of going through what he likes to say to each pitcher and who he needs to pump up, who he needs to calm down, just sort of the way he manages you guys during a game. And he mentioned that you pitch angry, and we've talked about it before, the whole Walter. Personality. How does that work? How do you pitch angry?
So I think you got to know yourself really well and know what gets you to perform really well. And for me, it's like I have to turn it on before the inning. I don't want to get hit first or, you know, get punched first before you lock it in and you're like, oh, wait, we're playing a game here. They got 2 guys on or whatever. So for me, if I go out there 200 different times, 200 innings over a year, every single start of the inning, I have to turn it back on. And between innings, I try to really calm myself, my breath work, calm my heart rate. But then when it's go time, you have to get back in that. Cal sees it really well, and he knows all the different personalities. He's not going to just overdo it, but when he sees that you need something, he's not afraid to challenge you or get you in gear.
What do you do, though? I mean, do you have to, like, think about something that makes you mad? Do you
Put
have to...
you put
is there
Anthrax on and
yeah, is there
AirPods,
music?
walk
Or,
up
like, what do you do to get into that zone?
Gosh, I wish I could explain it well, but I probably won't. It's kind of a feel thing for me. It's not like I have an actual cue or anything like that, but a lot of the times when it's the third out or you see guys running off or whatever, your body naturally starts to spike because it's like adrenaline's filling you, all that kind of stuff. I have a couple of things, but I'll keep them close to the chest.
But are they understand? Are they things of slights from your past, people you don't love? I mean, is it that type of stuff?
Oh, not really.
Okay.
Not like something on Twitter somebody said I'm terrible. That's it. I'm going to prove them wrong. No, it's nothing that exact or specific. It's just I'm not waiting to get hit first, that type of thing.
I was on with our show after us. Bump and Stacy do such a great job, and I think it was Stacy asked me, what do you see as far as leadership around the building, and where's that leadership grown? And gosh, I just can't get past Cal. Every time we sit with him, and that position naturally does it, right? It's a little bit like a quarterback. Quarterback looks at everybody. That catcher looks at all of you. You have all your meetings with him. You work so closely with him. How would you characterize Cal's leadership from your perspective?
Yeah, it's great. I think everybody's starting to see that for sure. It's fun to watch how he's grown over the years. If you think back 3 years ago or whatever, it's like a completely different story for him, for me, everybody. But I think he knows himself really well and kind of established himself in that role where guys trust him. It's not like he's some outsider trying to chirp in and people don't trust him. He's just got banged up enough and proven himself out there. He's not sitting out games, anything like that. People know on the inside what he has played through. That gets a lot of respect from the other people around him. And then he knows the game so well. He's not making stuff up on the fly. When he says something, there's meaning behind it.
Sure seems like when he does play hurt, he doesn't talk about it a lot either. He's not Ben Roethlisberger, let everybody know, hey, make everybody look at my thumb. I got a big bandage. I mean, it seems like he just does it.
Yeah, for sure. Half the time I don't even know about it till afterwards, and I probably didn't contribute in a helpful way with some of those dirt balls. But, he doesn't like people to know. He's really one of those old school catcher type of guys that you don't see a ton in the game anymore, but I have a big respect for it.
He told me something off the air, and I don't think he would mind me repeating it because I asked him what advice he would have for a young catcher. I have a friend whose kid is 11, 12 years old and catching. I said, what kind of advice would you give? And he didn't say anything about blocking balls or throwing or eating or working out or any of that. He just said, bring energy. That you got to love to be a catcher, and you got to bring that energy every day. And it's interesting because Cal's not exactly, he's not Victor Robles jumping over hurdles here. And how does he bring energy?
Well, yeah, you nailed it. I think it's the way he's invested every day because every starting pitcher, every meeting, he treats it like it's his start day. When it's not my start day, he's still doing his thing, but I don't even think about it. I just think of me and him on my start day. He's there every time. And that's the only day of the week that I get to go out there, really. So he cares about it as much as I do. And then the next day he's doing the same thing for somebody else where I'm off for 4 days or whatever it is. He's invested every single time like that's his one day of the week, except he does it every single day.
It's got to be mentally exhausting.
Yeah, for sure.
And physically.
Well, obviously. I mean, that part I know. But just hearing that, just thinking about the mental exhaustion of that.
We had fun talking to Bryce about pitch shape. And just how, what's gone into when he was in college, just basically fastball slider. And all of a sudden he gets to this level and does all the thing. And been a lot of conversation, Logan, with you about different pitches in your arsenal. Anything new for this season in that regard? Any sharpening of some stuff? Or is that a constant?
I'm running out of ideas every offseason. I tried 2 different pitches every offseason. That only works for so long.
Yeah.
Most of the same stuff. What makes me successful is pretty similar. Slider, curve, split. I really didn't tweak those at all. Fastball. I just flipped my cutter grip, but it's basically the same pitch. I was still working on a 2-seam this offseason. It's just tough for my slot, the way my body moves.
Yeah.
Just recently, a few days ago, I've been playing around with a variation of a sinker, but I don't know if it'll make it out of camp. The last 3 years, it hasn't, thanks to Cal. gets banged in the last week.
Did you know that your arm slot was a little lower last year?
Yeah.
Was that on purpose?
Not really. Not at first a ton. I think my body got more rotational, which I kind of trained that way. But my arm started moving in the slot of your shoulders. When you're moving well, it usually does. But as I'm getting more rotational instead of tilted, this is a higher slot when I'm, diagonal shoulders. Sure. When I'm level, my arm starts moving more in that plane. I think that's how it kind of dropped, and I just kind of leaned into it.
So it's almost like your arm angle hasn't changed with your shoulder, but your shoulder angle changed.
That's how I like to think about it. Yeah.
Oh, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
I asked Brian this question the other day, and I meant to ask Bryce, and I forgot, but I'm just sort of curious about it. If thinking about the most important stat for a pitcher, if you could improve in one of these categories, what would it be? Is it strikeouts, wins, innings pitched, quality starts, or ERA?
Oh, man. That's a good question.
And they're all great. I mean, it would be awesome to improve in any of those things.
That's a good question.
Is there any of those where you're like, hey, if I could improve in this, it would really help me, the team, whichever?
I think most pitchers would probably say ERA because it's somewhat all-encompassing. But it's so results-based that even though secretly that's the answer, I don't let myself think about that. Innings is a huge thing for me because I think if I'm pitching a ton of innings, I'm probably doing the other things right. Quality starts come with that. Strikeouts in a way, all that kind of stuff. And I think you're doing a service to the team by bullpen arms, them going back-to-back. They don't have to cover 5 innings, different things like that. I think it helps the team a lot.
Just looking at the baseball reference page for Logan Gilbert, Brock, bold. They bold numbers.
He doesn't look at that stuff.
When they're number 1 in the league. And
yeah.
I'm just looking at innings last year.
Yeah.
208.2 in bold.
Wow.
Right? Your innings have gone up every year of your career. Can you throw more than 208 and 2/3 innings?
Can I? I mean, yeah, I definitely can. I don't know. We'll see. A lot of things have to go right. And, I mean, first of all, just staying healthy, that's a huge blessing from God. That's just out of my hands. But a lot of training and then how the innings go. You have 33 starts. There's a lot of luck, good and bad, that goes along with it. So much is out of my control. But I brought up innings just to brag on myself. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Not that.
How is Dan's voice different, if at all, from your previous spring training down here?
Oh, it's been really fun to watch so far. It was a tough situation, tough timing last year. Just it was a weird circumstance, I feel like. And this year, I was kind of curious about it. And Dan's top 2 people I've ever met in baseball with AD. Them 2 are unbelievable. But it's just a new role. So this year, I really felt like right out of the gate, just pitchers and catchers camp, it was like, he belonged, he knew his spot, he knew the way he was going to lead us, it felt like, and mentioned a few different pillars and different things like that he wants this team this season to focus on, to be built on. So it's like has this initiative, he has this identity for the team, and we're following him.
I think one of those is 162 battles, right? I think he's kind of been on the record with that we're going to win, just go to battle for 162 of these suckers. What does that mean for a pitcher? What does that mean when you do 1 out of every 5 of those battles?
Yeah.
33 battles.
Yes. It's a big deal, and I try to keep it that way because you look back, I mean, it's frustrating, and we don't love to talk about it all the time, but we're within a game or 2 for the last however many years that the random Tuesday game in May could be the game that gets us in the playoffs. You know what I mean? And you have to think about it that way, especially as a starting pitcher, that if I get 33 of them and I'm watching 130, when it's my turn to have the ball, we have to win that game. That's how I have to think about it. And Dan's that old school catcher guy too, so I think we just clicked that way.
What are your parents like?
What are they like? Gosh, my dad kind of thinks like me, I would say, or I think like him. And my mom's very, very selfless person, very caring.
What did they give you along the way for your baseball journey?
So I think of my dad right away. It's been amazing how selfless he is, and he built a mound in the backyard just because I wanted to start pitching and transitioned, and I wasn't even sure if I wanted to play in college anymore, and he was kind of pushing me and trying to find a way to do it and helping me talk to college coaches, and just I feel like he navigated part of the road for me.
That's while you were in high school?
When I was in high school, yeah. So and then building the yard. I mean, he learned about pitching. He didn't play baseball really. He was like dirt bikes growing up in Arkansas, so like different world. But I started caring about pitching, and he learned everything that he could, read up everything that he could, so I could learn a little bit more.
Well, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So who was it that got you pitching? If it wasn't him, who sort of started you down that road?
My brother. He started pitching before me. He was a couple years older. Played high school. Could have played small college, but chose not to. But I thought I was a hitter. Clearly wasn't good enough in high school, and I thought I would either be done with baseball or transition to be a pitcher like my brother. And worked out.
I've thought about building a mound.
Yeah,
but
for
then,
Titus?
Yeah, but then you could just buy the turf mounds.
Yeah, it's a little easier now.
Now I think I'm going to do that this offseason, actually. I'm like, I love that mound, but I don't think I'm going to build a mound.
Well, once that arbitration money starts coming in, it's a little easier to just go out and buy yourself a turf mound and everything like that.
Save a few hours.
I don't mean to use that as a way of transitioning into, the uncomfortable topics of the business of baseball, but everything is on a clock, right, in this game. Well, now everything is actually on a clock, but, your time in the game is on a clock. Your time in a city is on the clock. As you start getting closer to that free agency deadline in a couple of years, do you find yourself thinking about what the future holds for you?
It crosses your mind for sure, and year after year, the last couple years at least, your name loosely gets thrown in trade stuff. Half of it has no bearing probably, but that's just how the business goes. I love being here, and I'm not just saying that. I'm sure everybody on a headset would say that, but they've been good to me, and I feel like I've talked to other guys recently that come from other organizations, and they come here and how well we do pitching and how they help you understand yourself to be successful. I could have went to any team and it could have probably gone really wrong, but I came here and they helped me and established who I am. So I love being here, and hopefully it stays that way for a long time.
Are you someone, I asked the same question of Cal, are you someone that needs to go to free agency to find out what your value is, or are you comfortable signing a long-term deal before then?
I'm definitely open to it. It has to be the right situation for sure, but I'm definitely open to it. We've had, loose talks, haven't gotten there, but it's been optimistic, I would say. Everybody wants to get to free agency. That's, the gold standard. You want to get there just to see what your market value is, what you're worth. But something could happen before that for sure. And it's long. I'm a Super 2, so I have 7 years before free agency. 7 years is a long time. So it's tough to actually make it to free agency.
I think card 26 in heavily stacked says, I love it here.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's right.
It's just one of those cliches. You got to get it right.
I looked at it before I came out here.
Yes. I love it here. Logan, this is always one of our favorites.
Seriously, thank you. We do appreciate it. I love sitting down with you. Just love getting your perspective on the game. And it was pretty cool pitching in the All-Star, or being an All-Star last year, right?
Yeah, awesome. Hopefully more of that.
Who'd you hang out with while you were there? Who'd you get to meet?
Some of the other pitchers. Crochet was a really good guy, super talented. Reagan's. Talked to Scooble a little bit. Just fun being around those guys.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Thank you. We appreciate it. Good luck this year. We'll talk again.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
Interesting, Brock. It was a lot of the young guys that he was hanging out with there at the All-Star game. Look, this you guys are going to hear from Cal today at 8:30, and some of the same conversation about are you interested? Are you open to the idea of a long-term extension? Both guys say yes, they're open to it. But what does it look like if they're not able to get those things done, right? The market for Cal in
7 years, 210.
It's huge money.
That's max Fried. 7 years, 210.
And I'm sure there are a couple of people around the league that would be very, very interested, right? Buster Posey's now, in a position to be able to give money. That's a catcher who's going to be looking for something like that. Cal's sort of history is the next Jason Varitek.
Oh, I'm sorry, Cal. Yeah, Logan would be 7 years,
Cal.
210. Yeah, yeah.
Then you get to Logan.
Yep.
What's the market for Logan? It's going to be absolutely enormous for a guy who's stayed healthy and throws as hard as he does, and the length, all of it. You better really figure out a way to keep this thing together, or else you're going to have to start trading some of these guys well before the time you really want to. So,
Yep. Draft, develop, and trade. And I think we've always felt like the trade component is kind of the outside, or maybe your prospects, and not been your major league roster, and certainly not the top end of your major league roster. But decisions to be made. I was walking down the hallway here earlier, speaking of All-Star. You know what's amazing? Brandon Morrow, All-Star.
Yeah.
Brandon League?
Yeah.
Brandon League, All-Star.
Yeah.
Daniel Vogelbach.
Yep.
All-Star.
Yeah.
Like there are some names on there.
I mean, it is one of my frustrations with the All-Star team is that it's all about who had a good first half.
Yes.
And I've always felt that's lame. Like, I think you should look from the last half of last year
into the first
half of this year, because the last half of the year is what matters the most.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that's when the game means more. So who performed in August and September, to me, should factor in just as much to being an All-Star.
You feel like, by the way, you're recognizing more faces and names?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. It's a nice thing.
A couple of the young guys, I'd like to talk to Ben Williamson, but I don't know what he looks like, so I'm not sure how I'm going to be.
Colt Emerson, if you walk by?
Colt, I would recognize.
How about that play?
He made a heck of a play yesterday. That is one of actually a couple of observations that I have from being at the game yesterday. Yeah, tidbits. I've got a couple of tidbits.
Okay.
Two of them involving defense. One of them involving a guy that I think has jumped out in a really positive way to surprise me. And then an observation and prediction that hit me like a ton of bricks while watching the game yesterday. I will make, Brock, a bold proclamation. A Salklamation. Coming up next on Brock and Salk.
Seattle Sports, your home for Wyman and Bob.
There's a Twitter account, I guess, called Mile High Moments, and they found the video of Dave Wyman scoring a touchdown.
Weekdays 2 to 7.
Who needs Elway when you've got Maddox to Wyman?
My pregnant wife at the time, she missed the play because she was going to the bathroom. And I guess my mom went nuts, and my brother was embarrassed.
Is that the one you said you went crazy in the end zone, and you're like,
yeah,
I didn't act like I've been there before or something?
They were like, yeah, act like you've been there, but I haven't.
Streaming live on the Seattle Sports app.
Jason Rance here with our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn from None Better Tax Resolution. So, Greg, not all tax resolution companies are the same. There are some that are definitely not local. There are others that don't quite know what they're doing even.
Well, I tell you, these ads that all of us hear, Fresh Start program, they make you feel like, hey, man, I can just easy peasy get my taxes written off. No. And I've had several clients actually come to me after going through that process, and they just get no response after a while. They're passed around from person to person. That doesn't happen at my firm.
You are familiar with the cases that come in. You're working on them.
I'm familiar with every case that comes into our office. And I know what's going on and have the ability to really advise our taxpayers very well on what to do.
If you're having trouble with the IRS, then call Greg Nunn. None Better Tax Resolution, from stress to success with IRS Solutions. 425-947-1967 or Google NUNN. None Better Tax Resolution.
Hi, Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. For over 55 years, you've trusted us for roofing, siding, windows, decking, and gutters. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to schedule a free estimate. State Roofing and Exteriors.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-838-6161. That's 800-838-6161. 800-838-6161.
Febreze. It's a classic odor tale. You've had fish for dinner, cleaned up, but the smell is still in the house. And the neighbors are coming over for game night. They're on their way. And then you spray Febreze Air Mist. Febreze Air starts working instantly to fight even your toughest odors, so you go from fish to fresh like that. Now all you have to worry about is Pam cheating at charades. Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
Stream every Seattle sports show with the Seattle Sports app. Brought to you by Fred Hutchinson Cancer Center Proton Therapy. Get new videos, podcasts, and articles on the Seahawks and Mariners from your favorite Seattle sports personalities daily.
The nonprofit Puget Sound Senior Baseball League plays real baseball on the best fields. The season's first tryout for adults ages 18 to 65 and older is this Sunday, March 2nd at Hogan Park at Russell Road in Kent. With 10 divisions featuring different age and skill levels, there's room for almost every ball player, from ex-Little Leaguers to high school and even former college and pros. Get all the info at pssbl.com. That's pssbl.com.
As of 9 a.m. this morning, our EV trucking company is officially in operation.
Andrew's zero-emission trucks are driving the transportation category forward.
We'll make driving safer, easier, and less stressful. Now our technology needs to keep up with demand.
He needs to put pedal to the metal on hiring more software engineers.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Some people just know they can save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first at 888-ALLSTATE or allstate.com. Like you know to check you have gas first before road tripping through the desert.
Empty? Seriously? Maybe I can walk.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So if you want to save money, check Allstate first at 888-ALLSTATE or allstate.com.
Maybe I can't.
You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Terms apply. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs, with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports.
This hour of the Brock and Salk Show is powered by Star Rentals, preferred supplier to the West's best contractors.
Give me a freaking auto! From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
Brock Ewert is my hero.
Jay Buhner just punched me in the kidney.
We're going to excuse you on the interview.
Doesn't really work that way, Sherm. This is a show that has my name on it.
It kind of does, though.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Ewert and Mike Salk.
Hello! All right, we roll along. Brock and Salk, Seattle Sports on 710, seattlesports.com, and the Seattle Sports app. Another day, our fourth here at spring training, Mariners spring training in Peoria. We'll be here today, tomorrow. Cal Raleigh will join us at 8:30, an hour and a half from now. We may get a chance to talk to either Colt Emerson, top prospect in the system. Is that what it's looking like? Moore's giving me a nod. Colt, not Ben Williamson? We weren't sure. One or the other.
Literally just got confirmation as you were saying that we will have Colt Emerson at 7:30.
Perfect. Awesome. All right. Well, we'll get to talk to the highest ranked positional prospect in this organization. And he's one of my little takeaways or tidbits from yesterday. I'll start there, even if it wasn't the biggest one. I mentioned the other day, just looking at him, I see a guy who looks like he's going to grow into being a third baseman. We'll see. He had two chances yesterday at short. He came in on a high chopper and tried to throw the guy out at first, just missed him. But
bang play.
I thought he played it really well. I don't think there was anything wrong with the play. And then he made a really nice diving play up the middle, got to the ball, knocked it down, and I did not think he was going to get the runner, and he flashed an arm that was pretty legit.
Yes, he did.
That was pretty good play.
Yeah, so when you look at that and your concern level is just size, like he's just going to continue to
I think
get
he's just
bigger?
going to keep getting bigger.
Yeah.
Like, at some point, you just outgrow being a shortstop. But he's an athlete. It's not that he's not athletic. He just kind of looks like a third baseman.
Yeah, at that size, and if you continue to grow, then your twitch level's got to be very high.
Real high.
And he feels like right now, as a really young player, he's got a lot of twitch and explosiveness.
The guy that stood out defensively yesterday though, was
Thick thighs.
The big fella himself, Las Montes.
His quads are too big for his knees.
What did Julio call him? Not the giant. He had a name for him. I forget what it was.
A couple times. I couldn't follow it.
Maybe it was giant.
Brock repeat, wasn't it El Gigante?
I said El Gigante.
But it wasn't that.
Because I couldn't hear what Julio said.
It was
I thought
something
that's
else. I have to go back and see if I can remember what it was he called him. But yeah, I mean, he made 3 plays in the outfield that were all really nice plays. The first was just getting to a ball and throwing to third to keep a runner from going first to third.
Yes.
And it was a dart on the money.
Yes.
Second was a really nice running catch, and that's supposed to be the weakness of his game. And then the third was another throw to hold a runner.
Getting the ball to the line before the runner could get second,
I was pretty darn impressed by what I saw there.
But, Mike, his quads are too big for his knees.
I know. We have that. Cut 10, Keith Law, you may remember, a few weeks ago told us that Las Montez may not be able to stay in the outfield.
The approach got a little bit better. The body didn't. And that all those concerns from a year ago, the position, the staying healthy because of his size, is he a DH? He's extremely slow. He's really big. And people love to comp him to Jordan Alvarez. Obviously, it's a great outcome. They forget Jordan Alvarez also already had surgery on both knees, and now one of his knees has been bothering him again, and it's because of his size. So you do worry about that with Montez. But the fact that he carried the approach and even got a little bit better as he moved up, and obviously the raw power is still very much there. It gives me a little more confidence, right? His probability went up. I don't think his ceiling changed, but his probability of getting to it or getting somewhere close to it did go up because he improved a little bit as he moved up to face better pitching, stayed healthy for a full season, continued to produce.
All right. I got to say, just watching him, he doesn't look that slow. He really doesn't.
No.
The body does not look bad. He's tall, but he's not like overly heavy or anything like that.
He does have a lot of mass. He carries a lot of mass.
He's a big guy.
He looks like a defensive end.
Yeah.
Like if we were at the Seahawks training camp and we were sitting here watching all the guys walk in, you'd be like, oh, he's like a 260-pound defensive end.
But he's definitely, I don't know. Again, seeing him up close, I was expecting wider
and softer.
And I don't see that at all. I mean, it's not unlike the way Julio looked a couple of years ago. Not exactly the same because he's taller but it's more lanky.
Yes,
I think than anything else. So I don't know. I was pretty impressed watching him out there. Obviously, the arm is a cannon, but
that's fun too.
Yeah, I don't know. I came away with just a little different opinion.
Okay,
and I'm not a scout like Keith has been, so I'm not the expert. But what I saw, kind of liked. You want the Salklamation?
Yeah, Salklamation.
Just kind of hit me yesterday. I don't think Mitch Haniger's going to be on this roster. I don't have any evidence
barring
of that.
Injury, right?
Barring injury. I was watching them play, and maybe it was Rowdy Tellez hitting the home run. Not that he's like necessarily going to make this roster. Not that it's just that, Mitch has not been around. We haven't seen him at all working out in the cage. I haven't seen him at all. That doesn't mean he hasn't been here. I haven't seen him at all other than in a couple of games, and I know he hit a home run in his first or second game, but it just watching the team, it doesn't make any sense for Mitch Haniger to be on it.
Yeah, where's the fit?
He's not an outfielder anymore, and they've got enough guys that I think could play some of those positions and provide a little bit more of what they need, whether it's athleticism or defense or positional flexibility. I just don't I don't know. I don't think he's going to be here.
I think the challenge, and again, not to go all scout, which I am not, or deep-seated analysis, which is a little harder in baseball, but even yesterday, just kind of striking out on a two-strike above the belt fastball that was a minor leaguer at 90, it was 93.
Right, and it's spring training. You don't want to read too much into it, but
that was the challenge, that catching up to that fastball. You're going to hear from Cal at 8:30. Like that's hard for anybody to do, young guys to do, let alone 30-somethings that just once that starts to slow and you can't get to that one, it makes the whole rest of the at-bat and the attack and the approach very difficult. So
right on cue.
Oh, that's Laz, right? Yeah. He's really long.
Really long. Really just not – it's not big in a wide way.
No.
He's just long and lanky.
It does look like Alvarez. Alvarez looks the same way. He looks really long. He's taller than Alvarez.
Absolutely.
Too. Yeah, he's bigger.
Anyway, I don't know where that ends up going with Mitch Haniger, but just it kind of struck me just looking at the roster and think like we've been sort of saying, well, they didn't trade him, they didn't cut him, so they're just going to have to play him because they don't want to eat the money. And maybe that's what happens. I'm not saying it won't. But it just struck me, seems like, you know what? They're going to get to the end of spring training. They'll have realized that the money is gone either way. Why bother having him on the roster if he's not going to be a fit for it? So my gut tells me he's not going to be here when the season actually begins. A couple of others. George Kirby. Who was it who said easy cheese in talking
That was
about
Woo.
Was it Woo who
It was
called
about
him easy cheese?
Yeah, I think it was
That's
Cal.
exactly what it is. And, of course, every time we talk about somebody, they have to walk by. There goes George as we're talking
Morning,
about
George. Yep.
But just the easiest delivery, and that ball's coming out 98 yesterday, like just effortlessly.
Yeah.
Easy cheese is absolutely the right description of George Kirby.
Yeah, down there you sit with a bunch of the different scouts, and I feel like they don't even probably write much anymore about this Mariners rotation.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, that's still
yeah,
pretty
we
good.
kind of see that. That's going to plus, and that's plus. So I'm just going to sit here in the sun with my hoodie on a little bit. Yeah, pretty different.
It is. The ball does come out a little different there. He's not. It does not look like he's throwing hard.
Him and Woo, I think both. You know, Bryce today, it does look like it. Bryce, you can feel, and I remember Moore and I were sitting here a couple years ago for Bryce's first, I believe, Major League spring training start, and it was like, ooh, yeah, this guy is all gas, no brakes, kind of. You feel that with George and Woo in particular, those two, and Luis, I guess, somewhat similarly. I mean, he's a little more of a slinger.
A little whippy.
Yeah, he's a little whippy, but I would say George and Woo are the two. Like, wow, how does that ball explode out of the hand in that way?
Yeah, the more I watch him, I've said this for a while, but Kirby really reminds me of Mark Pryor. That is the name that I see probably more than anything with George Kirby, because Pryor always looked like he was playing catch.
He did.
And then you're like, oh, it's 97. What? How did that ball possibly go that hard? Yeah, that's who he – I mean, they're not built the same. Pryor's a little wider and stuff. But when I watch him, I got a lot of Mark Pryor that ends up in my
Popping
mind.
in
All
your
right.
mind.
So, Colt Emerson coming up in 20 minutes. Mariners' top prospect.
Youngest guy we've ever talked to on the set down here.
You think so?
Oh, I would think so. I mean, we didn't talk to Julio when he was 19, 20.
No, that's true.
I don't know if we've ever talked to, because didn't he just turn 20? He is young.
He's young. Yes. And we're talking to him in the morning, Brock. He's college-aged, and we're talking to him in the morning.
Make us feel old.
Oh, and plus, I don't know whether he'll be awake enough to talk to us, so we'll see where this goes. That's coming up in 20. Cal Raleigh will definitely be great because, we taped it already, and it was awesome. That's coming up at 8:30. We'll be right back with everything you need to know next.
Seattle Sports is in Arizona for spring training baseball.
Our goal really is to come out of spring training and to play that consistent brand of baseball from beginning to end.
Go behind the scenes with Brock and Salk as the Seattle Mariners get ready for the 2025 season. All this week from 6 to 10.
What a masterful performance by the big right-hander Logan Gilbert.
And hear every pitch of spring training baseball on Seattle Sports. Streaming on the Seattle Sports app.
Holy smokes.
Pickleballers, Champions of Change and Safeway announced a multi-city pickleball tournament, including celebrity games with Seahawk legends Doug Baldwin, Mike Bennett, Cliff Averill, and more. In collaboration, Nourishing Champions campaign will be raising awareness and accepting donations to provide nutritious foods for student athletes in under-resourced high schools. You can help by donating at your local Safeway checkout. Open to all. The tournaments are in Seattle, Lacey, and Spokane. Register today at championsofchangefoundation.org/pickleball.
Are you looking at diversification and stability with your investment portfolio, especially with the volatility right now in the stock market? Hi, I'm Scott Rierecka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital based in Bellevue. We've been running local real estate investment funds for over 18 years. We've had 0 investor losses and have averaged double-digit returns since inception. Maybe it's time to take a little risk off the table given market conditions. For stability, there's no better option than Legacy Group's Northwest Fund, a fixed return of 9%. Legacy's Northwest Fund also accepts IRA accounts as well. Find out why over 1,000 local investors have invested over $250 million in our Legacy family of funds. Get in touch with us today. Legacy's Northwest Fund returning 9% has limited opening for new investors right now.
Call 425-635-4700 or visit LegacyG.com. That's LegacyG.com. This is not investment advice. Legacy investments available to accredited investors only. Details at LegacyG.com.
Hey, Brock Ewart here. And as a former college and professional player and quarterback in particular, the years of wear and tear and some of those hits left my knee and some of my body in some constant pain. On and off the field, the weight room, all those heavy squats and all of it. In fact, my knee was really bothering me last year. That's why I decided to try stem cell injection therapy with Dr. Daniel Nelson at Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine over there in Kirkland. And really, it was an awesome decision. With Dr. Dan, the procedure itself was so quick and easy. In and out, same day. Next day, I'm out watching football practice, a baseball game, and the staff was absolutely A+. And my knee, Well, it's a whole lot better now, and I'm back to squatting and enjoying a much better quality of life. Call Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD, with Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine. Over 30 years of experience. No one, and I mean no one, has more experience in pain medicine techniques. You can reach him at 425-823-4000. That's 425-823-4000 or DanielNelsonMD.com.
Heading outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nelly on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Protein, protein, protein. Everyone is trying to get protein in their diet, but we need fats too. Healthy fat, that is, like the rich, natural peanut and almond butters found at G2G protein bars. Most bars don't have it because, well, most bars aren't real food or refrigerated. Fortunately for you, we aren't most bars. At G2G, you'll find a balanced helping of protein and healthy fat. The fact that they're delicious is just the bonus. They're fast, easy, and perfect for on-the-go families. G2G protein bars. Find them in the refrigerated section at Costco.
The nonprofit Puget Sound Senior Baseball League plays real baseball on the best fields. The season's first tryout for adults ages 18 to 65 and older is this Sunday, March 2nd at Hogan Park at Russell Road in Kent. With 10 divisions featuring different age and skill levels, there's room for almost every ball player, from ex-Little Leaguers to high school and even former college and pros. Get all the info at pssbl.com. That's pssbl.com.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card, so let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver Card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
T-Mobile 5G home internet keeps getting better. Get our fastest connection loaded with benefits. Get T-Mobile's best home internet starting at $55 a month with auto pay and any voice line. Plus, Price Lock. We won't raise your rate on internet. Check availability at T-Mobile.com/home internet.
Exclusions like taxes and fees apply. Guarantees regular monthly rate plan price of fixed wireless 5G internet data with qualifying service. After $15 bill credit with postpaid voice line plus $5 a month without auto pay with debit or bank account. Regulatory fees included for qualifying accounts. $35 connection charge applies. Speeds vary due to factors affecting cellular networks.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. Up first.
Easy cheese yesterday, Brock, for George Kirby, throwing 98. He makes it look very effortless. Kind of like the other guys in the starting rotation. Looked really good in the first inning, and then when he had to come back out for a second, not quite the same. And I'm sure that's just sort of a indicator of where they are right now and gearing their arms up for the actual season. Second inning got away from him just a little bit, but yeah, I thought he was really fun to watch in the first inning, and not a guy we've talked a lot about. It's been a lot more about the other four in the rotation. And
what happens to the middle kid? I mean, I've lived that life for a long time. I mean, think of Peter Brady, poor Peter, right? I mean, the middle is just,
pork chops and apple chops.
I mean, we kind of got Wu and got Miller on the young end, and you got Logan and Luis battling for the opening day, and there's poor George.
Yeah.
Right,
you ever have to beat up a bully who was going after Luke the way Peter did of Bobby Hinton? All right. There was a little bit of offense, not a ton like the last few days, but the newcomer, Rowdy Tellez, who's a big dude, went yard.
The windup man, the 0-1 pitch, swinging a fly ball deep into the gap in left center field, going out to the berm, and goodbye baseball. Welcome to the Seattle Mariners, Rowdy Tellez. That ball was shot out of a cannon, and we have a tie game. Mariners won, and the A's won, and that's what Tellez can do. He can hit a baseball a long, long way.
Yeah, that's a no-doubter.
You know what he was? He was a T-shirt guy. When he was 12 in the pool, he was wearing a T-shirt.
Stop.
Yeah, he was.
What is wrong with you?
Because he's just a big guy.
Seriously, what's wrong with you? You have a disease.
No, I don't.
I think you do. You're
judgmental.
You're incredibly judgmental about people's bodies.
Love.
That doesn't mean you're not judgmental about them.
No.
You can love them and be judgmental.
You know what you need on your team? You need some T-shirt
guys. You also
guys.
have some sort of an irritable bowel disease. I can't believe how often you go to the bathroom. And I don't know why you need to talk about it as much as you do. You asked a great question, though, yesterday. I'll give you some credit of Dan Wilson.
Okay.
Cut 4, you asked him just, all right, what are the pillars? What is this program going to be about?
The first thing on the list really was the idea of grace, and it's not a word you hear a lot. But, I think with players in the game today, I think it's important that they understand that they're going to be supported by a coaching staff, through thick and thin. And I think especially when guys struggle, is when coaches are needed the most. And so extending grace to our guys as much as possible is really, really important. I think the flip side of that is truth, and that's another one, too. You can't lie to players. You have to tell them the truth. They have to understand, the things they need to do to get better. There needs to be accountability involved. So, those are a couple of the pillars for sure. And preparation is another one. We want to prepare our guys. Down here, we want to prepare our guys for the 162 battles we're going to face. When we get to Seattle. And then the last thing is fun. You got to have a lot of fun in this game. And if you don't, this game will eat you alive. And it's a long season. So, those are some of the things we talked about.
We're going to have a long discourse at some point. And I don't know if it'll be this week about sports dads and why grace and truth are so important for the young athletes of today. We're going to have an extended conversation at some point. Can you remember that more?
Yes.
Write that down. We're going to have to do that because
write it down.
Yeah, because Salk and I will forget it for sure. What was that conversation we want to have?
There was something about
grace,
I'll
truth,
text it to you guys.
Grace, truth, and sports
Grace
dads.
Kelly. I don't know, something about Grace. Interesting that he dropped another 162 battles.
Yes, he did.
Right in his description. Split squad today. Half the team's in surprise against Texas. The other half here against the Giants.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
Mike Macdonald's turn on the podium yesterday as he met with the media at the Combine in Indianapolis. I know you're going to talk through the DK Metcalf stuff in Blue 88 in about 20 minutes, so I'll just play you something else. Here he is talking about quarterbacks and what you've got to look for if you are planning to draft a quarterback. This has got 7.
If there's an opportunity at any position, including quarterback, that's great for us and is going to make us better, you got to consider it. You got to be able to make that decision.
Got to do it?
It's a short cut.
I know.
It wasn't a very long cut. I thought it might be a little longer.
No, I kind of enjoy it.
Yeah, it's just a short one.
There you go. Another short joke. Mike McDonald, not the biggest guy.
Why would you?
And I'm the judgmental one.
You really are a difficult person. I'm not gonna lie.
Were you surprised to find out that Grant Cohn may have misled you?
Oh,
McDonald said that he wasn't sitting next to Schneider on the plane, so if he was talking to Schneider the whole time, he wasn't involved.
Oh boy.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, that does change things a little bit.
Really glad we played his sound 3 times.
That does change it just a little bit. Doesn't it change
And you know what else? He couldn't afford first class. Next.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
McDonald is trying to build a culture, and there was a report that comes out every year, last couple of years, from the NFLPA, Players Association.
Yeah, this is a newer thing. This was not around when I was around, certainly.
Last 2 years, 3 years?
Yeah.
They've only done it a few times. The Seahawks dropped 1 spot from 14th to 15th overall, so middle of the pack. I do like seeing that they've done a good job of listening for the feedback and then reacting to it. Last year, the players complained that they needed a family room at games. This year, they built one. Then the complaints this season were like, hey, training room is too small, tub room is too small. Right after it comes out, they announce plans to renovate and improve both of those rooms this offseason. Mike McDonald got really positive reviews for him maximizing players' time.
Right?
Huh?
I
mean, he was 100%.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, he couldn't have done any better. He was asked about building a culture and whether or not he wants to kind of mimic the Ravens culture. Cut 8, he says, no, not so much.
Well, we want to become our own team. There's principles that we took from Baltimore and things that I believe in that aren't just specifically unique to Baltimore. I think those kind of are tried and true principles across team sports, especially football. I think we were looking at it through the lens of, hey, how can we build off of what's already here, but also make it our own? It's probably the biggest challenge. It comes with making some moves and decisions where, you might feel like you're moving away from things, but really we're trying to build off of what's been in Seattle and our brand of football there, and also, hey, what's our personality, the things that we're going to hang our hat on at the end of the day. So it was a fun process. The guys did a great job. Man, going to work every day with the guys in our building is just it's a blessing. It's a ton of fun. And, how many days we got till they come back? So we're counting those days down.
One of the challenges, Salk, I was listening to our sister station is driving around town here, Arizona Sports, and Arizona, once again, dead last, 32nd. And just like F.
Really? Below?
D minus. Yeah, they were 32nd. And a lot of it was the facilities. They've got like a
I figured it was fan base.
30-something-year-old facility that they train out of. And the guys were making the point, and I've seen this firsthand in the Seahawks to a degree. Their training room, like, their training room's a problem? Well, when you've come from Alabama and these places in college football that have built Taj Mahals, right? Same thing a little bit in baseball. I was at Oklahoma State's baseball facility. Like, some of those guys go from that place to these major league facilities, and they're like, well, I kind of had nicer spot in Stillwater.
That's
like,
crazy.
Isn't it crazy?
That is a little bit crazy.
It's just upside down a little bit.
Yeah, that is weird. All right, that's everything you need to know. 1/4 every hour here on the Brock and Salk Show. All right, we're going to talk to a kid. Brock, one of the younger people we've had. I think you're right. One of the younger athletes.
He's 19, by the way. He's not 20.
He's not even. He's not even 20.
Yes. He's Macy's age. Him and Macy are the exact same age.
A year ago, he was in high school.
Was it a year ago? 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Yes,
I guess.
2 years ago. He's in
2
high
years
school.
ago, he was in high school. And then
he was in
drafted.
Everett this last year.
It was in Everett. I know. Yeah.
19. Are you prepared to talk to a 19-year-old?
I think so.
I mean, we hardly can talk to Lyle. He's 26.
I think so. Wait, a year ago today? Huh. Are you sure he wasn't in high school still a year ago today? I think he might have been finishing up high school a year ago. That's really unbelievable. Colt Emerson, highest rated prospect in this Mariners system, joins us next on Brock and Salk.
4th down territory. Going inside the game with former Cougs and Seahawks wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
What part of football has changed, and do you like it?
2-point conversions. Like, we are chasing points. The game has changed. 2-point conversions and 4th downs. So we're seeing coaches dive into the data like a lot of people do with baseball. And I like it, and it is weird at the same time because I'm not used to seeing these 4th down conversions or attempts and these 2-point conversions.
4th down territory. Every day at 11:15 and 1:15 on Bump and Stacy.
All right, look, we are here at spring training. It's awesome. I love it. It's one of my favorite weeks of the year. And one of the best parts is seeing just how physically impressive the pro athletes are up close, right? Brock spends a lot of time looking at them, not going to lie. But they've had a lot of time to get in shape and to be in peak physical condition. Now, for the rest of us, we might not have all the resources, time, or energy to devote to diet and exercise. But you could be in some of the best shape of your own life, just like some of these guys. And you could do it in just 45 days with the help of Eastside Weight Loss Clinic. Worked for me, 10 pounds in the first week, 35 pounds in 8 short weeks. Felt healthy, eating delicious, fresh meals that you buy at the grocery store. No pills, no injections, no fake food, no nothing. Find out if you could do it too. I know you can. A 15-minute call is all it takes, no obligation. Schedule it right now at eastsideweightlossclinic.com. You got nothing to lose other than, a ton of weight. Go to eastsideweightlossclinic.com. Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it.
Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/choice55 to learn more. With AutoPay plus taxes and fees, plus $5 per line without AutoPay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. Motorola Edge on us with 24 monthly bill credits and new line for well-qualified customers, plus tax and $35 per line connection charge. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the...
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your...
windshield wipers. eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Whatever you love, find it on eBay. eBay. Things people love.
When might you be buzzed? When you suddenly love everything.
You guys! I love this song! I love these nachos. I love our kickball league. Ugh! I love this guy. What's your name? You know what I'd love? A ride when it's time to head out.
If you see a buzzed warning sign, call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I love your car. Is this real leather?
Hi, Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. With thousands of full replacements with expert craftsmanship and unbeatable warranties, we've been building roofs you can trust for over 5 decades. It's more than just a job, it's our promise to you. Protect your investment with a free Golden Pledge warranty on all GAF roof replacements over $15,000. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to schedule a free estimate. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
The noon hour of the Bump and Stacy Show is powered every day by the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law Personal Injury Lawyers. Go to pendergastlaw.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Xfinity here. How can we help?
Hi. My daughter invited her entire class to her birthday party. Can my Wi-Fi handle it?
Oh, well, at Xfinity, our latest gateways have tri-band Wi-Fi technology, letting you connect hundreds of devices at once.
No way. So if all the kids are watching stuff on their phones, well, their parents are sharing videos online.
Yep, go ahead and watch videos. They can all do their thing and party their way. No problem.
Oh, we are gonna need a bigger cake.
Now through March 4th, get fast, reliable Xfinity Gig Internet for $25 a month for 1 year with no annual contract and Wi-Fi equipment included when you add an unlimited mobile line. And ask how to get an eligible free 5G phone with trade-in. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY or visit a store today. Restrictions apply. Requires PayPal and auto-pay stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. After promo, regular rates apply. Xfinity Internet required. Reduced mobile speeds after use of monthly data included with your data option. Data thresholds and actual internet speeds vary.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
All right, we'll do some Blue 88 coming up in 15 minutes for you football fans out there, and Cal Raleigh will join us at 8:30. Before we do that, though, pleased to be joined by Colt Emerson, who, as Brock said, might be the youngest baseball player we've ever had on the show.
Not might be.
Definitely?
Definitely is.
I think it's
And I'd shake his hand and congratulate him, but I touched Bryce Miller's hand
Yeah.
and made such a big, like, wow, I can't believe he touched his hand.
You touched his hands in a kind of a weird way.
Kind of a creepy way?
It was a little creepy, yeah. And I think everyone who
Wanna shake your
saw it
hand?
thought it was
Yeah.
creepy.
Youngest guy on the show ever.
Hey,
Yeah,
thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, you betcha.
It's great to be here.
You're in big league camp. What's it like?
It's really just a lot of learning, a lot of like taking a step back and just like soaking everything up. You know, it's the first one, hopefully not the last one, you know. But just kind of just going in there, just being yourself and going out there and playing your game and being in the clubhouse with the guys and just, I mean, it's the same, but just on the big league side.
Do you just like find one person to follow around and sponge off of them, or is it a little of everybody?
Yeah, it's a little everybody. I mean, we're all out here doing the same stuff. We're all playing the same games, so you don't really follow one person around. It's just kind of like you go out, stretch, you do your thing. You know, I got my own routines that I'm doing. I'm worried about that. I'm worried about staying healthy. I'm not worried about whatever else. But I mean, when you come out here and I mean, it's fun. I mean, you get to come out here and stretch here with the big league guys. Like it's a really great group to be around.
Conversations similar to how they are.
So you're just going to hog the whole
just
thing?
a couple.
No, you're just, he does
before
this.
you move on, because I know you're just going to talk football with them. Do you conversations similar to what they were on a high school team or on a minor league team, or different types of conversations?
Yeah. I mean, the baseball talk is all pretty much the same. But no, I mean,
the rest of the talk.
I mean, there's talk there's talk you can't bring up on air, but no, it's all in good hard stuff, and I mean everybody's just really trying to get to know each other at this point. I mean, there's a lot of guys I haven't met yet, and there's a lot of guys I've met, so I'm just really trying to get to know everybody and build relationships with the guys, and especially the new guys and guys who've been here.
You find yourself sticking around the younger guys, Laz and some of the other prospects, or
yeah. I've played with them. I've built more relationships with those guys, and I mean, you see it out here. The big league guys are on this field, and then some of the other guys are on the other field. So I mean, yeah, I tend to get paired up with the younger guys just because I'm rookie in camp, youngest guy.
Yep.
So I mean, which is not a bad thing. I mean, I just enjoy those guys, and that's who I get put with. So
is it faster? You know, that's the one thing about NFL camp in that first mini camp, and you're just like, whoa, this is so much faster than even high-level college. You get to big league camp, do things move at a little quicker pace than did in Everett or other spots?
Yeah, you could say that. I mean, you're just expected to know more, and which is, I mean, for me, I love it because it's like, it's not necessarily drills and this and that. It's just, hey, go out there and do your thing and play, and I love that, and that's what I do. Even though I love to practice, but I mean, the game is where I love. So I mean, yeah, it's been good.
What did you do this offseason to get ready?
Yeah, I kind of treated the offseason the same as last year. I mean, really just where I tried to work on getting bigger, faster, stronger, and, you know, more explosive. I wanted to make speed a real threat this year, and, you know, I just want to become the most well-rounded baseball player there is, well-rounded person there is. And, you know, I had a really great offseason, spent it in Ohio, other than the cold there, which wasn't that great this year, I should say, because I got out here February 1st because of that. But
Are you a Buckeye too?
Absolutely.
Oh boy, that's why Hollander loved you.
Yeah,
huh? Just a Buckeye.
That's
through.
how we ended up here.
Buckeye through and through.
National champs.
You say getting bigger, faster, stronger. I mean, one of the interesting questions is what position you will play if and when you eventually make it to the big leagues. You know, is that something that's on your mind? How do I find a way to stay at shortstop long term?
You know, if I'm on the starting lineup playing right field for the Mariners, I don't care. If I'm wherever, you know what I mean? Like, you can put me at DH. It doesn't matter. If I'm playing and I'm helping the team achieve a world championship, I couldn't care less. And just going out there and playing. I love baseball, and I want to play at the highest level. So if I get the chance to do that, I'm going to do it.
Have you played all the positions at various points in your life dating back to Little League?
Yeah, I'd say so.
It's hard to imagine you got stuck in right field too often.
You know, it's interesting because when I was younger, I was like this little 5', 90-pound kid, and, you know, I would show up to these like little showcase things when I was like 10 or 11, and the first day would look at me and be like, all right, left field, right field, batting last, and then by the end of the tournament, I would be playing shortstop and batting the top of the lineup, you know. I guess I didn't pass the eye test right off the bat.
Late bloomer then? Because, I mean, what are you now? You're 6'1".
205.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't say late bloomer. I just say it was a lot of hard work getting to where I am. Because, I mean, I was a smaller kid in high school as far as, like, freshman, sophomore. Because, I mean, I'm a whole year younger than everybody else that's in my grade, you know.
Yep.
I wasn't born until July, and that has not only helped me in my baseball career, but has helped me develop, I guess. I'm not as developed physically, but, I mean, the time comes.
So walk me through a little bit of that. I feel right now there's a dad in Bonnie Lake driving a young son. Like, that's me, Dad. I'm the littlest guy on the team. I'm 5', 90 pounds, and you're telling me I can be a first-round pick, and you're telling me I can do so. How, you know, to the kids that are driving to school right now back in the Seattle area, listening to this, saying that's me. How did you do it?
I spent so much time in the weight room, and even more time eating. That was the biggest thing for me. Was just like, wow, it was. I should say eating, but it was more like eating training, because it was like, I mean, I didn't have the biggest stomach. Like, I was just trying to get protein, but it was like, you know, I designated like 2 or 3 hours at the end of the night just to eat. And it's not like I'm eating McDonald's and stuff. It's just like you're trying to get the right things. You're drinking your protein shakes, and it's like.
And what's a workout look like in high school? What does a day look like for Colt growing up in high school to develop and get to that point?
Yeah, so it was so funny thing is my freshman sophomore year, like I thought I was like working out how I should. Like I would just go in there. I didn't have a plan. It was just like, all right, I worked out today, and it was like whatever. And I saw zero progress, and I was like, well, what's going on? Until I really sat down and was like, all right, like you got a chance to A, get drafted, but B, like go play college baseball, and like if you want to play, if you want to achieve your dreams, like you gotta like you either gotta step up or you're not gonna step up. And for me, I was at a standstill where it was like, all right, I'm gonna step up. So, long story short, my days just go to school. We had a lifting class during school.
John
so
West Texas and Ohio.
I have
Texas.
Yeah. I didn't have that at BB&M.
Yeah. So I would do an upper body, which is just triceps, biceps, core, whatever.
Glamour muscles.
Yes, absolutely. And then after baseball practice or whatever we had after school, I would lift again, and that would be my real workout, where it would be like baseball training, agility, things like that. So I was working out twice a day, pretty much 6 days a week until, I guess, for 2 years. And then when my senior year rolled around, I didn't have football anymore because I quit playing football. And that was when it was still 2 days a week, 2 times a day, but it was after school. It was like 4 hours in the weight room, spending it, rolling out, stretching, trying to get mobile, like trying to get strong, and like just trying to figure out the process that I needed to have. You know, because I had guidance, but it wasn't like I didn't have somebody that was in the big leagues telling me, "Hey, you should probably do this. You should do this."
Who did you have? We're talking to Colt Emerson. Who you said that you kind of realized you weren't making the progress you needed to.
Yeah.
Was that entirely something you figured out on your own? Was a parent, a coach? Did somebody kind of help you through that?
Yeah. My dad has always saw, like, I guess, the potential in me, and he has really brought it on to me, like, hey, like, you have this great talent, like he didn't say it like in a mean way, but it was just like you could either waste this or you could like achieve, because like he always pushed me as far as like, hey, if this is what you want to do, like I'm gonna sacrifice a bunch to help you do this. So the other end of the deal was like, you got to do it. So it was either like one or the other. It was either like just waste everything and just be a normal person, which is completely fine. But for me, I mean, I just wanted to be a major
We call it
baseball
owning
player.
it, man.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were saying you call them NARPs.
Oh, non-athlete, regular people?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're fine.
Yeah.
They're great people, too.
Not just a NARP. You could have been a NARP. It's okay.
That's right.
Yeah, that's
but you
okay.
were destined to not be a NARP.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't. That was what I told people at, like, the draft com. I was like, my biggest fear was just like getting a regular job. Like it scares me. I don't want that at all.
How much did football help you? That's another conversation we have a bunch about multi-sport athletes.
Yeah, as far as mental and physical toughness, I mean, it was really everything for me. I mean, minus like the failure in baseball, that helps out a lot. But I guess learning from getting beat down, because like I said, I was a smaller kid in early years of high school, and my brother was a senior when I was a freshman. So when I was out on practice squad, I would have to try to block him, and he would just put me to the ground every single time. And I mean, going through that has just really helped, just because like if I got through that, no problems, I can get through really anything. And I mean, there was times where quarterback would leave me exposed over the middle, and I got hit. I mean, it just happens, but you can't. I guess it's a mental game at that point. It's just like you can't let the other team know that you're being affected at all. You just got to go out there and do it.
You bring up the failure element of baseball, and with every young player, it sure feels like one of the hardest things to figure out. And I know, talking to GMs and scouting directors and farm system guys, they're like, yeah, you just don't know how a guy's going to handle that failure until they do. And eventually it's going to happen, because that's what the game's all about. How have you gone about trying, whether it's mental skills training or some of those moments in life, how have you gone about trying to figure that out?
Yeah, it's easier said than done, because when it gets hard, it's hard, and there's no getting by that. I mean, but for me, and I tell myself over and over again, like God has written the script out for everybody, and you just kind of got to live it out. And it's easier saying that than done. But, I mean, the more you practice and the more you pray, the more you just have that side and keep growing closer to God. I mean, for me, it has helped tremendously, and I know that I've only been through one season, but, I mean, the more I go through it, the more of a clear mind I have, and the more I look at the positives instead of the negatives. Because, I mean, you're already getting out. I mean, why make it worse and think about the negatives? You know, and that's easier said than done too. I mean, baseball's so hard where it's like, I don't know. It's tough, but you get through it. That's for sure.
Last thing for me, for you to never have a regular job. God bless you. Don't ever have a regular job. What are the steps that you need to take that maybe you've learned over the first couple of weeks of big league camp? Like, ooh, okay, these are the steps over the next whatever it is, days, months, years, you know, to get to be one of these guys, to be one of these memorable Mariners and live up and play to a first-round talent that you have. What are those steps you've got to take?
Number one is probably have a good routine. You know, figure out what works for you, what gets your body right, and it's going to take a while. And the earlier you start, the better it's going to be. I mean, I didn't start until I got to pro ball, and I'm still working on stuff, still working on what's right for me, what's wrong for me. And also, too, I mean, just going out there and loving the game and loving the grind of practice and loving the grind of being in the weight room and working out and getting better and loving getting better and just being addicted to that feeling. And the last thing I'd say is just playing hard. Just playing hard and being yourself. I mean, if you got it in your mind that you can do this, I mean, you can do this. And sounds cliche, but it's true.
Do you think you had that guy yesterday on the play where you came in? It sure seemed like he was out from our end.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. Umpires are umpires. It's spring training for them, too. You know? If he would say, I don't know. It's out of my hands at that point.
It's in someone else's hands.
Yeah.
But you got the second guy.
Yeah, I got the second guy.
That was a nice play.
Yeah, it was good. Got stuck in the ground a little bit, but
all right.
Whatever.
Hey, thank you. It was nice to meet you. It was nice to sit down with you. I always tell Brock, no college football players before 10 a.m. because they're all asleep.
Yeah.
But this was not that. This was quite the opposite.
Close.
Maybe
Yeah.
different rule for baseball players, at least in spring training.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. We appreciate
Awesome.
it. Great to meet you.
Thank you, guys.
Absolutely. There is Colt Emerson, Mariners' top prospect, and a guy that we've had a lot of fun watching here so far in spring training out on the field, and I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot more of in the future. Brock, will shift from baseball to football for just a couple of minutes. Let's do some Blue 88.
This is Brock and Salk's Blue 88.
Blue 88! Blue 88!
We take you to the field as Brock Ewart breaks down 3 football questions as only he can.
Now here's your hosts, Brock Heward and Mike Salk.
What? You like Colt Emerson?
I do. I wonder if your brain thinks like my brain.
Probably not.
Are you sure?
Probably.
We've been 16 years.
Yeah, I don't know. I still think our brains function pretty differently.
Did your brain at any moment have like a Jared Kilnick?
Okay, yes.
Okay, God bless you. Thank you. And we'll get to Blue 88.
But with a little more emotional regulation. I mean, not a little bit. A lot more emotional regulation.
Yes, not Jared Kilnick, like, oh my gosh, that's Jared Kilnick. Like,
well, he looks a little like him.
A little bit like him, but that's like Jared Kilnick with like a
different family.
Yes.
Like a different family situation.
Football play. Like,
exactly that.
Yes.
Yeah,
and you were thinking that.
Yeah.
So what's your mouth? Like, we don't think alike. I don't want to think like your brain.
I wasn't sure. I mean, I figured the workout stuff. I thought maybe you were looking at his quads or his glutes
Mike,
or trying to rub your hands all over
that's not it at all,
whatever
Mike.
it is
no.
you do. I don't know.
You make him sound like a perv.
Yes, thank you,
I think we
Mara.
actually have a
Wait.
Here's the Thing message about that.
Who
today.
makes him sound like a perv? He makes himself sound like a perv. I don't have anything to do with it.
Stop it.
I just sit here next to him.
Question 1.
Question number 1, Brock. What does Sean McVay do better than anyone else in the league?
Ooh, this was a good little cut from Mike McDonald. This was, I believe, at the Combine yesterday, and nobody, and I mean nobody, can work those referees like Norman Dale. I mean, like Sean McVay. Rest in peace, Gene Hackman. Here was Mike McDonald talking about it.
All right, which NFL head coach does the best job sweet-talking the refs?
Oh, Sean McVay, absolutely. I mean, he might go 32-0 with that question.
Seriously?
Yeah, we're just trying to we want to get more calls for us, not for LA.
I think when you like. We had a clip of Shannon a couple years ago in the Super Bowl. Do you remember this? And he walked down the sidelines and he talked to like the back. He's like, okay, now Kittle's going to run a 10-yard out here. They've been holding. Just keep an eye on it.
I do remember that.
You remember that? And McVay is the exact same way. Just always a play ahead, always on it. But I think McVay's not quite as snarky as Shanahan.
He's just more likable.
Much more likable.
Same deal, just more likable.
Much more likable. Yeah. Brilliant guy. Not a surprise that I could see that and use that to your advantage if you're Mr. McVay.
Yeah. Wasn't it the Rams, though, who... Oh, no. It was, who was it? Never mind.
Niners?
Who was it?
Wasn't it them with the Saints? That
Yeah. They got that awful
in the playoff
call.
game, yeah, against them.
It was against the Rams, or was that against the Saints?
The Rams went on to play the Patriots, yeah.
They got the
The
call.
Saints got
All
it.
right, yeah, there you go. Now it all comes together.
There you go.
All right, question number 2. This will be a need to know a little bit later, but some questions here about DK Metcalf. Obviously, it's been a big topic this offseason. What was he last year? Why did some of the productivity drop? What did we learn from Mike McDonald?
Yeah, I want to hear this. He was asked about it, and we've talked about it with Jackson Smith and Jigba. And gosh, I feel honestly, the more we just exhaust every angle of this, hard time imagining that receiving core without DK and without Tyler. Mike McDonald kind of asked about DK and the fit once again with the Seahawks, or he was from the podium yesterday.
From my understanding, going into the Atlanta game, I think he was tops in the league in targets. I'm not sure where the numbers were, but it's that trend of focus around the offense that we're shooting for. And then to Jax's credit, and DK not being 100%, throughout the probably the second, third quarter of the season, it speaks to Jax's development. But we want to get the ball to DK. We want to make sure that he's a focal point of our offense for sure.
Yeah, I'm just not getting any vibes. I'm not getting any Russell Wilson vibes. I'm not getting any of those vibes at all from John or Mike.
I agree
about DK and Geno. I don't know. Are you getting your spidey sense?
I mean, I think that there's a lot of talk about DK around the league, enough so that I think that you certainly couldn't be shocked if something went down.
And it's not that they're not entertaining. I'm sure John's
there's
entertaining.
Enough people talking about it.
Yeah.
There's enough smoke there
Yeah.
that I think that you would be crazy not to believe there's a possibility.
Yep.
But I would absolutely agree with you that I've heard nothing from either coach or GM to make me believe that they are the ones pushing that agenda.
That's right. I think that's well said. See, others can answer questions better than Brock can. Okay, question number 3.
I'm just here to help translate,
I'm still tripping. That's like Jared's younger normal brother.
That's exactly right. Like the older brother got all the grief from the dad, and now there's a younger brother who's here like, thank God he had all the problems with dad, because I got a much more normal upbringing.
That's exactly
and
what
now
it
I
is.
can just come in and just let all of my natural talent kind of do its thing.
Yeah.
He's not as jacked as Kelnick.
No.
I mean,
Upper
Kelnick
body
was,
especially.
Kelnick
Yep.
was almost at the Tyler O'Neill level, pretty yoked.
Correct.
I didn't see that. And Kelnick, again, just to be fair to Jared, really smart kid.
Absolutely.
I know, but it just, I think people forget it because
People
it's
think
easy to
he
get
was a
caught up.
meathead bro. He was
really
not
wasn't.
that.
Tyler O'Neill was a meathead bro.
Yes.
Jared Kelnick was a really smart guy who
Thoughtful.
looked like a meathead bro.
Correct.
And had the emotional maturity of
A
nothing.
meathead bro.
Yeah, of not even a meathead bro. Question number 3, Brock. This is why I got to ask you because I don't know the answer to this. Who is the lone Husky performing at the Combine this
You know
week?
the answer to this. Linebacker, son of a longtime NFL stud, playmaker in big spots, projects for sure to be a difference-making special teamer. And who knows, in today's league, in space, Carson Brunner. And he's going to work out today. So the linebackers and the defensive linemen, and I can't wait for it more. And if you want to spout numbers and spit numbers at me as these guys start running their 40s, start doing their verticals, start doing their
We do this every year, and
I
then
do.
not much happens during our show.
I
You
know.
always think there's going to be a 10.
I know, probably not.
Just on a side note, though, Daniel Jeremiah did mock Michigan defensive tackle Kenneth Grant to the Seahawks in his first mock draft.
Yes.
Just found out he will not be doing on-field drills because he has a mild hamstring.
Okay. Well, Carson will be doing those drills, and I hope for Carson. It's a big day today. When you're a little bit of an undersized linebacker, you've got to really run and jump well. And I really hope for his sake he's a 34-plus vert and a 4.6 something 40, and if that's the case, he's going to get drafted. You know, he's going to follow in the footsteps of the Ben Burke-Kirvins and the other guys ahead of him. Ula 5th-round pick to the Bills last year. Like, he's got a shot to do that. So go get him today. One Husky after it was basically Montlake in Indianapolis at this time last year.
All right, there you go. That is today's Blue 88. Just looking through the text machine, Emerson seemed engaging and likable. The content of what Colt says sure strikes me as being very mature for his age. The delivery is just hilariously young.
Yep.
Totally got a wiser, more mature Kelnick vibe. Yeah. Although somebody said thankfully Colt can hit because he's got no future in radio. I don't know. I thought he was pretty engaging.
They messaged, who is this? It's kind of hard to listen to. And I said, he's 19 years old. Right. And that was their response. I'm like, if you would have talked to me at 19 years old, I wouldn't have sounded like I belonged on the radio. I was super shy.
Yeah, what are you? You're just texting. What do you know?
I thought he was very thoughtful.
I don't know. He seemed older than the two guys I had dinner with last night. Yeah. I had dinner with Lyle and TJ last night, sushi restaurant. It was like going out with my kids.
Yeah.
I had to teach them how to use chopsticks.
What?
Oh my gosh, it was quite the situation with these two. Yeah,
Lyle
it was honestly like going out with little kids.
Lyle doesn't do the chopsticks?
Lyle? No. Ask for a fork in a sushi restaurant. Never seen anything like it. The only other person I've ever seen ask for a fork in a sushi restaurant is Cecily.
Lyle,
I don't know anyone else I've never seen it before.
We're doing Here's
He's
the Thing
stabbing
next, right?
sushi with a fork.
Lyle is in Here's the Thing, so he may have to come sit down with us.
He might have to if he's, he can take the bottle out of his mouth and, walk over here without the help of a parent. My God. Yeah, sheesh. It was quite the situation. All right, so we're doing Here's the Thing. We got good stuff, even though we haven't promoted it all week.
Yeah, we did.
That is a testament to the people. It's next. I'm Brock and Salk.
The John Schneider Show.
Every Thursday until draft day on Wyman and Bob.
We are now speaking with the architect of your Seattle Seahawks.
How we doing, football fans?
With Seahawks President of Football Operations and General Manager John Schneider.
My job is to do what's best for the Seattle Seahawks organization. I have to keep wrapping my mind around that and trying to communicate effectively.
Listen live Thursdays at 4 p.m. or watch the interviews on the Seattle Sports YouTube page.
What's the standard the Seahawks defense needs to be held to under Mike McDonald?
The John Schneider Show.
Brought to you by Pizza Hut.
I'm going to be honest with you guys. I would rather get my teeth drilled than go to a car dealership. However, I recently had a breakdown with my vehicle, and I knew that I had to get a new one. I knew where to go. Wayscar Ford in Auburn. I'd heard amazing things. I knew the GM, Mark, so I ended up going out there. Mark, you're with me right now, and I got to be honest, even knowing you, I was nervous. Just being at a car dealership brings pressure, but you guys really focus on customer experience.
Well, there are some dealerships where you go in and you feel like you're getting jumped on. We don't do that, okay? There's absolutely no pressure at our dealership, period. And we backed it up with a 5-day or 500-mile, 100%, no questions asked, money-back guarantee. We only want to sell you a car if you want to buy one. So if you want a low-pressure experience, check out our reviews. We have thousands of 5-star reviews. You can buy with confidence. Wayscar Ford's been family-owned and operated in downtown Auburn for over 103 years. You don't stay in business that long by not taking care of people.
See it for yourself at Wayscar Ford in Auburn. That's wayscarford.com.
Safety comes first. When money is tight, don't neglect maintenance on your vehicle. Keep it safe. At Bucky's Complete Auto, we have you covered with available financing. For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto has been servicing and repairing cars and trucks with modern-day technology and good old-fashioned customer service. There's a Bucky's just about everywhere for oil changes, wiper blades, brakes, tire rotation, tune-ups, and factory maintenance. No appointment necessary and financing's available. Check Bucky's.com for the location near you.
Look out, world, we're getting strong. The future's here and we belong. She can STEM, she can do more. Like build a rocket and watch it soar. Or clean the oceans and make the world a better place. Oh, she can STEM, so can you. Find a cure, invent something new. There's no challenge in the world that she can't face. She can STEM.
Learn more at She Can STEM. A message brought to you by the Ad Council.
No two people learn the exact same way. So how did Babbel become the award-winning language learning app? We thought of you, all of you. Take Sierra. As a visual learner, she uses Babbel's wordplay videos.
Today I'll share a quick lesson on shopping in French.
Merci beaucoup. Keith is a be in the room with real people kind of learner, so he loves the live online classes with our language experts.
Okay, class. Vos está pronto. Estamos prontos.
However you learn, Babbel makes it easy. Try Babbel for free at babbel.com. BABBEL.com.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here from my friends at PCF Group, or People Come First Construction Group, and that's exactly what they did when we made the call a couple years ago. We wanted to redo our outdoor space, wanted to add a deck, an outdoor living, a television, and a kitchen. And PCF Group, wow, they more than delivered. And if you're interested in building a stunning outdoor area like we did, I cannot recommend them enough. Reach out before the good weather arrives, and their schedule, well, it's going to fill up. So whether you're looking for a complete outdoor living space or a very specific project like an underdeck ceiling, deck, patio cover, railings, PCF has you covered. Design now and pay later. In fact, get 12 months, no interest and no payments, and up to $6,000 off and a $1,000 Amazon gift card. Request a complimentary design and estimate consultation at 425-629-8476 or project ideas. Explore photos at pcfgroup.com. That's 425-629-8476.
The nonprofit Puget Sound Senior Baseball League plays real baseball on the best fields. The season's first tryout for adults ages 18 to 65 and older is this Sunday, March 2nd at Hogan Park at Russell Road in Kent. With 10 divisions featuring different age and skill levels, there's room for almost every ball player, from ex-Little Leaguers to high school and even former college and pros. Get all the info at pssbl.com. That's pssbl.com.
There she is, founder and CEO. High five.
Dave can't stop celebrating with every business owner in town.
All right, Baker Man, high five.
He's sharing the excitement of big savings with the Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee.
Ooh, up top, bike shop. Yeah.
It's 5 years of gig speed internet.
Quick, high five.
5 years of advanced security.
5 years.
And 5 years of a great rate that won't change.
Yeah, law partners. Chamberlain, Messethorpe, Dubois.
All from the company with 99.9% network reliability. Switch today and get the 5-year price lock guarantee.
5 years.
It's back, but only for a limited time.
Woo!
Powering 5 years of savings, powering possibilities. Comcast Business.
Can't forget you, voiceover guy.
Ah, thanks, Dave.
High five.
Ends 3/9/25. Guaranteed rate applies to monthly service charge for new customers on qualifying internet bundle, excluding taxes and fees. Other restrictions apply.
Let's go!
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports.
Get his freaking auto!
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
I don't read the internet, guys.
Take the bull by the hands.
And Brooke, you are. And Brooke, you are.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Hewitt and Mike Salk.
720 says not using chopsticks is not uncommon, Salky. Get real. It's pretty uncommon at a sushi restaurant, I gotta say. A little uncommon. Matt in Beaverton says, Lyle was at the sushi restaurant. Did you guys take the PB&J roll off the menu? And then 206 wondering why we're going out for sushi in Arizona. I've never had bad sushi in Arizona. Every time I get sushi here, it's good. Every single time I've had sushi here, it's
good. You go to that place, what was it, Tempe?
That place was awesome that you and I ate at years ago. No,
Oh.
we went in Scottsdale, but it was very good. Lyle is here. Good morning, Lyle.
Hi, guys. How are we?
I thought we were just going to get a Gaga Goo Goo or something.
Oh, my bad. Maybe I should have done that instead.
I'm glad.
Yeah, let me just put the I'm too loud.
You're very loud.
Calm down.
All right, whoa, chill.
There we go.
Jeez.
You want me to turn my mic
No,
off?
turn it.
You're good.
No, turn his mic back on. You're just fine.
Just pull the mic away from your mouth.
Yeah, you don't have to swallow that.
And then I'll
Apparently, you just talk louder than the Mariners players.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, well, let me just put the baby milk aside and get serious for this show.
All right, well, apparently we're all going to take some heat. And here's the thing this week. We want to make sure you were in for it, and let's hear what the people have for us today.
Brock Hewitt doesn't just hate one kid.
I am so disappointed in Michael Salk.
You don't know what you're talking about. You're mindless. Love you, bye.
It's time for Brock and Salk's Here's the Thing.
Okay, here's the thing.
All right, we're going to run right through these today, starting with Papa. What does Papa have to say?
Gigi and Papa?
I don't know what Papa it is. Maybe it was my own grandfather who passed away a few years ago. Who knows?
Here's the thing. The other day, Salk was talking about a phenomenon that occurs amongst Seattle drivers where they don't know how to drive through green lights, and he called it FOGL. And I would like to suggest an alternative theory known as FONBOC, FONBOC, fear of not being on cell phones. That's right. If you're a Seattle driver and you're listening to this, get off your freaking cell phone, you dumb.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, angry Papa.
All right.
Don't most people driving around in Seattle have some sort of a hands-free device?
I would think so.
I think so, too. I don't feel like I see a lot to
What's
phones
that
up to
face
their
for?
ears.
What?
I mean, I don't feel like people text and drive.
No.
Right, Lyle's like people talk on a phone? Who does that? I do think people have that FOGL, though, that fear of green lights.
Yeah.
It's not a good sign that the driving in Arizona is better than it is in Seattle. I think that's really something we should worry about. Let's see, Josh in University Place is up next.
Hello, Josh.
It says Grant Cohn for some reason, but it's
Here's
Josh.
the thing.
There we go.
49ers blogger Grant Cohn had a lot of boy howdy energy. I mean, I'm not saying they're the same person, but...
Yes.
There was some similarity there.
You agree?
Yeah.
How
there
much
was...
do you two know about this guy?
Not a lot. No.
His whole bit is ripping Kyle Shanahan.
Oh.
I mean, it's been that way for at least
Well,
a
it
year.
turns out he gave inaccurate information, and McDonald wasn't sitting next to Schneider.
Right.
So Pete
Getting
just
a
went
little
up
boy
and talked to
howdy-esque.
Schneider.
Don't ever let the facts get in the way of a good
Right.
story.
I wonder if they'll get into a fight like Ian Rappaport and
Jordan Schultz.
Jordan
Yes.
Schultz. Kevin apparently is coming for me.
Here's the thing. Mike Salk is undefeated in his old man get off my lawn basketball takes. Like, Brock, remember when they used to break ankles back in the day? Oh, those were the days. Now all they do is shoot threes. Ugh. Analytics has ruined the game. Mora, SGA is not a real person. Canadians don't play basketball. The moment the Sonics return, it is going to be a wild ride listening to Mike Salk analyze basketball.
Yes, it is.
Hey, look, the guy took another three.
Oh, my gosh.
You know what the Sonics need is another three-point shooter so they can hit more three-pointers.
Oh, this is going to be fun.
The game needs less Steph Currys. Steph Currys. And more, I don't know, who's a boring center.
I don't think I said they need centers. The game needs more Allen Iversons.
More action.
Steph Curry's, like, is he not as electrifying as AI?
No.
Steph Curry's fun.
Not even close.
Steph Curry's fun. When he
Steph
gets on a
Curry's
heater.
good, but it's not as fun as watching Allen Iverson. No, not even close.
Okay.
Shooters are shooters. They're fun, but they're not as fun as a guy who
But
breaks
his
your ankles.
ball
and gets-
handling, Steph's the
Yeah,
best.
it's good.
Oh, yeah.
The problem, though, isn't Steph. The problem is the 9 million Steph imitators out there who aren't good enough to do it and still chuck up the threes.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Gotcha. Okay.
Let's see what Coleman's got about Lyle.
Okay, so here's the thing. Brock and Salk and all the crew are at training camp and talking about, like, hey, let's talk about the pitching and the catching, and, oh, hope runs eternal, and then, hey, Lyle, let's talk to you. What do you think? Lyle, you talk so fast, no one can understand a word that you're saying. Just calm down.
But I'm the old man. Wow. That was before Lyle got on this mic and started.
That's trying to swallow while he was talking.
Oh, my God.
Everybody's just that's the problem.
Still like air traffic control.
My dad always said he was a fast talker, and he always said, blame me if that's where you get it from. So I guess blame family genetics.
Oh, great. Point fingers at
It's
your
only
dad.
when you get really excited.
Right.
How are you going to succeed in the podcast world talking fast like that? That's not how the podcast voice works.
Oh, some people speed up their podcast so they can get
So
through them quicker,
you
know?
weren't
He's just helping
here.
them be efficient.
You left
Not
with
Lyle. Or they're going to have to slow his down
you left
so
with
they can hear it.
You left with Joel and Jackson yesterday to go get lunch. Moore and I got to witness something, and we give Lyle and TJ a hard time. Obviously, that's our job.
Yeah.
But they talked with this minor league pitcher of the year, no microphones, no anything, for like 30 minutes.
Who was that?
Reed Van Scooter?
Ah.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
Oh, I mean, like No, they weren't recording anything, just building, that connective tissue. Yeah. And I don't know if, what's his name?
Reed.
I don't know if he could follow anything Lyle was asking him as fast as he was talking to him. I mean, he was trying.
You think Reed was just sitting there like, eventually this conversation's going to end, this guy's going to run out of gas, and I'll get an opportunity to go eat lunch?
He never did. It was pretty cool.
Let's go with yes.
Brent's coming after you, Brock.
What?
Here's the thing. This is Herbert Swathington from Sun City calling in to give you a piece of my mind.
Uh-oh.
It's my understanding that this Brock Hurd fella is part of your radio program. And I'm here to tell you that Mr. Hurd is a daggummed pervert. There I was in my pool doing my water aerobics when suddenly I noticed a pair of wide-set eyes spying on me over my privacy wall. Then this Russian freak asked how many plates I lift. What damn business does he have asking how many plates I use at supper? What does that even mean? Then with a wiggle of his finger, he asked if he could check my tea levels. I don't know what that means either, and I don't like it. Send this perverted Rusky off to Washington, D.C. He'll fit right in over there.
Wow, Brock.
Brent's pretty good.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know where you are, Brad, but Brent is,
I think
pretty
Brad's
good.
on the same perverted tip as you are. Danny is not getting the last word today, but he also thinks he saw you down here in Phoenix.
Really?
Hey guys, here's the thing. Don't tell Brock, but I just saw him order 15 blue Jell-O shots at Twin Peaks in Tempe. I'm pretty sure he's not staying at his in-laws' house. Just make sure you make a lot of noise and ask a lot of questions on Thursday. Bon voyage.
Blue Jell-O shots specifically.
That's good.
Best kind.
That's funny.
You want one more?
Sure.
Here's Zane, who is here to defend our lovely community here in Arizona.
Here's the thing. I'm not going to sit here listening to you sons of bucks impugn the Happy Endings LLC retirement oasis of Arizona. Brock Heward, you like to listen to old men pumping iron, do you? You like the sound of old men breathing, eh? If casting judgments fills the space between your eyes, then you've got a lot of work to do, young man. What about all the things you failed to mention? The soft food buffet, all the creamed corn, hot dog broth, and overcooked asparagus you could eat. What about the Viagra fountain? The Fox News Theater, hot chair yoga, 10% off hip replacements. I could go on. And keep chuckling there, Mike Salk. You know what time our gas station closes? Pardon me, these senior sketchers have an unfortunate squeak. The gas station closes at 6 p.m., a proper time. Because you know what happens out there in the world after 6 p.m., Mike Salk? Nothing good. Shenanigans, tomfoolery, people driving around casting judgments, eating walleye sandwiches, spreading baseball optimism. Safe travels home, you no-goodniks. I mean that sincerely because it implies you are leaving. Goodbye.
That was great. Wow. There was so much in there.
Headaches from
Good
laughter.
writing. Both, I mean, that's good writing from Zane. Unless he did all that on the fly, which would be pretty impressive.
Ooh. We got great listeners.
Cream corn, hot dog broth, and overcooked
Hot dog
asparagus.
broth really got me.
And the Viagra what?
The Viagra, whole Viagra fountain.
Fountain.
Yeah. It's
Viagra
the fountain of Viagra. What a world.
Well done.
What a world.
Well done.
All right,
boys
great
and
job,
girls.
everybody. Download the app, the Seattle Sports app, so that you can
Good job,
listen
Lyle.
to the
Way to
show.
go, too. You did a really good job. I really appreciate you coming on with us.
You can
Everything you
listen
did
to
on
the
X.
show, watch the
Everything
show.
you did on X-Ray. Let's go to it right now,
If you
please.
look closely, you might even be able to see Lyle's shorts. Stick around. We got everything you need to know next. Cal Raleigh coming up right after that. And there's some really good stuff from Cal, by the way. It's Brock and Salk, Seattle Sports on 710.
All teams on the East Coast are better and more important and deserving of full coverage, and we've always said this.
Bump and Stacy, weekdays 10 to 2.
It's true. Clearly. I love me some East Coast teams.
I love East Coast bias. It's not even bias, it's just truth.
It is.
You know how I feel about my East Coast teams.
No, I'm just aggressive because of the East. I like the East Coast aggressiveness.
Yeah,
that is
same.
who I am.
I want to try to mimic it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hear the show anytime on demand by subscribing to the Bump and Stacy podcast.
Hey, Brock Heward here, and I have had a couple sports injuries through the years, a couple other injuries. Thank you to some great fans I saw along the fence here yesterday asking me how my knee was after taking the ball off. I'm good. I do know a little bit about pain, though, and I know many of you listening to this do as well. Painful joints from arthritis, they can affect all of us and make it hard to do pretty much anything. Well, that is where my friend, Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD, from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine right over there in Kirkland, well, that is where he comes to play. He has seen so many patients suffering from chronic joint pain caused by arthritis and more, so don't let pain stop you from your quality of life. Consider Dr. Nelson, the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques. Many have jumped aboard lately, but Dr. Dan's been doing this for over 3 decades. And now, well, he's got stem cell therapy, a non-surgical solution to pain using your own stem cells and platelet-rich plasma to harness your body's healing potential. Consider that and so much more with Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD, at 425-823-4000, 425-823-4000, or visit DanielNelsonMD.com. That's DanielNelsonMD.com.
It's time to go all in at Toyota of Kirkland. All in on their commitment to quality, innovation, and durability that makes Toyota of Kirkland certified pre-owned and used vehicles the best in the market. When a product is made better, it lasts longer, and Toyota of Kirkland is the place to be to go all in on your next used vehicle for that reason. With a large inventory of certified pre-owned and used vehicles with incredible savings, why not visit their wonderful staff and beautiful showroom today at Toyota of Kirkland or online at toyotaofkirkland.com and go all in on your next car.
Jackson Hewitt wants you to save money on tax prep. We're saving money by having our intern rap in this commercial.
Don't stress, Jackson Hewitt's got expert tax prep, $149 or less. Yo, some tax guys lie about price. What? They got hidden fees, that ain't nice. Ain't nice. Don't ignore MC Kevin's rhyme, cause this deal's for a limited time. $149.
For tax prep that's $149 or less, hurry into Jackson Hewitt today.
No cap.
Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149. Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-838-6161. That's 800-838-6161. 800-838-6161.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted a Colonial with high ceilings, hardwood floors, and a peaceful neighborhood. And you found it. Now, every Saturday at 6 a.m., you get to wake to the sound of your neighbor's leaf blower. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Heading outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nelly on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy, pretty much hands off. They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. Up first.
Well, Brock, George Kirby was very good yesterday in the first inning. We've not talked a lot about him, maybe because there's just an assumption that he is what he is. He's going to be great, and that's just what's going to happen. I keep coming back to that phrase, easy cheese, because that's exactly what it is. Dude just throws hard without making it look challenging for him at all. Dominated the first inning, hit 98, no problem. Second inning, got away from a little bit, which is not a huge surprise here at this time of the year. But it was nice to just see George Kirby out there again and be reminded that that's another part of this rotation.
Is that kind of the common thread thus far? I think all 3 guys out the gate, right?
Yep, great in the first
Logan,
inning.
Luis, and George, all absolutely nails first inning and sit down and come back out for the second. And whether it's working on things or just kind of getting back into that rhythm, a little bit different though yesterday, unlike double-digit runs, a little harder to come by yesterday. So they weren't going to go undefeated.
No.
That wasn't going to happen
Probably
while
not.
we were here. And, ball yesterday. And who gets the ball? Bryce today?
Bryce and somebody else. I'm
squad?
not sure who's in the other game. I should have run in and checked when I was there.
I'll
I'll
go do
check
that.
in a couple
I'll
minutes.
go do
I
that.
appreciate that. Yeah, you're good when you go in there. Usually nice things happen. Dan Wilson joined us yesterday, and we've talked a lot about this camp having a little bit more of a relaxed feel than some others. Cut 3, Dan talked about that.
Again, there's a balance there.
Yeah.
There's a tension in there in that. But I do think it's important to come together as a team. No question. These guys, we mentioned, they know each other, which is a great thing. And the more we can use that to our advantage and bring people together, the better. And, I think one thing that as a staff we like to talk about is letting our guys go out at 7 o'clock with some freedom. The ability to just let it fly, trust the preparation that has gone into each night, and then go out and play. And you got to get out of your head when it's time to compete and when it's go time. And when we're able to do that, I think that's when we're at our best. And that's what we're hoping to accomplish as we get prepared for March 27th.
There's some really good stuff in there, and the freedom stuff's awesome. But I do chuckle at the beginning because almost every manager, coach I've ever known that we've interviewed or throughout my life, anytime you suggest that something is one way, they're like, well, not too much. Because they're always thinking, understandably, about, well, how is this going to come back at me later? And if this team is sloppy and gets off to a slow start because of it, are they going to crush me because the camp was too relaxed and this and that? No, that's not a knock on Dan. That is every manager and coach I've ever been
and
around.
it was even Julio yesterday when we sat down and recorded with him, and he talked about, whoa. You brought up, or I brought it up, hey, a little less meetings, a little less, and he's like, but very intense.
Right.
When it's time to rest, you rest. When it's time to compete, very intense, and just kind of that tension between the two, certainly a part of this sport.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
Speaking of coaches, Mike McDonald meeting with the media in Indianapolis yesterday. A lot of the focus on this offense and the new offensive system. Cut 5, he was asked about his new offense coordinator, Clint Kubiak, and why he needs so many coaches around him.
I thought it was important for Clint to be able to work with guys that he has a prior relationship with, just having alignment on each side of the ball. Having done it a couple times where you haven't had those relationships, I understand that sometimes it's difficult. And with this particular scheme, there's a lot of nuances and that, kind of take the test of time to iron out all the details. So it's not like we have to go back through steps 1 through whatever to get up and running. So I thought that was really important. But these guys are some of the best in the business too. So being able to add great coaches to your staff, great experiences, different types of skill sets and thoughts and backgrounds, I thought was important as well. So I felt like it was a great mix.
Quite a pendulum swing. From a year ago, where really nobody had ever worked together. right? Other than Grubb and Huff were coming together from Tuscaloosa. Neither of them ever in any experience in the NFL level. You had Jake Peets, you had guys just from all different backgrounds, and that can be cool. And at that time, I think we celebrated like, wow, that's really, really cool. You just get the best of the best. And you know what? They got to grow, but they got to grow in a hurry. And I think after a year of that, especially offensively, especially how hard it is to run the football, it was like, no, let's get back to familiarity. And a lot of guys that all speak the same language.
Yeah, this offense is certainly going to be in the spotlight this year, right? Under the microscope, and hopefully all of those things come together in order.
Do you think Gino, by the way, I shouldn't sneak this in and need to know, but quick football. Do you think Gino will be better in a less volume offense?
I don't know.
I mean, Russ was so good, 28, right? 28 passes or less. You know, if you just make 6, 7, 8 great plays a game, instead of 35 or 40. And so much of this has been on Gino.
Some guys do, some don't.
I know.
I have no idea.
I think, well, obviously in their mind, they really believe he will.
Yeah, I mean, if it means that you eliminate some of the mistakes, obviously the other things Gino does, he does really well.
Yep.
So if you can eliminate the picks and some of the just bizarre mistakes, then yeah, I feel like you're going to be in great shape.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
Seahawks 15th, down a spot from last year in the player report card rankings for the entire team. Seems like they're trying to take care of anything that was negative, trying to build a new tub room, a new
just
training
giving the training room a little
whatever
more
it is, whatever they got to do,
resources.
they're going to go do all that. The other kind of weird, meaty story from yesterday is Fox Sports reporter Jordan Schultz having a confrontation with NFL Network reporter Ian Rappaport, a.k.a. Nerd in a Suit.
Two heavyweights.
Yeah, in the JW Marriott lobby at the Starbucks. Home field advantage, really, for Schultz.
Shocked that Grant Cohn didn't get video of that.
How did nobody
Did you
get
see
video?
what Schefter posted this morning?
No.
He just posted the Starbucks logo and said, head on a swivel.
Anyway, there was cursing. There was a lot of yelling back and forth. All about whether or not Tom Brady hosted Matt Stafford or whether they just ran into each other.
You think Matthew Stafford's going to be Pete Carroll's quarterback in Vegas for Tom Brady?
That's weird.
Does any of that make sense?
Doesn't sound right.
Huh?
That's for sure. That's everything you need to know. Quarter past every hour here on the Brock and Salk Show. Jonathan Diaz, Brock, in the other game. So Jonathan Diaz, the lefty.
Watch Bryce.
Yeah. If you get a chance, watch Bryce.
Yeah, go to that game.
All right, coming up next, a guy who knows all of these pitchers and what makes them tick and what he needs to say to each of them on the mound in the right moment. Stick around, you'll hear those answers and a whole lot more from Cal Raleigh next.
Seattle Sports, your home for Wyman and Bob.
I think you play as long as you still love it. You of anybody would be on board with that. You've talked about it a million times. It's no good on the outside, and you were trying to make a comeback at 40. And except for this show, I wouldn't leave, seeing Matt and Mike every day. I mean, it's really what brings joy to you every day, those two.
Even if a team came calling right now, theoretically, said, Wyman, we want you.
You're trying to kill me, right? Yeah, you got one play in me, and I'm going on IR for the rest of the season.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
All right, look, luxury awaits for everybody at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. That's where comfort meets elegance. And this summer, it's about to get a whole lot better as the hotel opens up with grand suites, signature suites, premium and deluxe king or two queens. It's going to be awesome, man. Great views of the Cascades in Snoqualmie Valley, the whole new destination spa and entertainment space and convention center, and a whole bunch of new food spots as well. I love that. Go get all these details. Go to snocasino.com. Seattle's closest. It's now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
Does your yard need shade, privacy, or a little brightening up? Look no further than Big Trees. I'm Nancy Penrose, owner of Big Trees in Snohomish. At our 30-acre location, there are thousands of trees to choose from and knowledgeable staff, including a board-certified master arborist, to help you find exactly what you're looking for. Visit the nursery and learn more about Big Trees at bigtreesupply.com.
Beauty, privacy, instantly. Big Trees.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids.
today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Safety comes first. When money is tight, Buc-ee's has you covered with available financing. For oil changes, wiper blades, brakes, tire rotation, tune-ups, and factory maintenance, it's Buc-ee's Complete Auto. No appointment necessary and financing's available. Check Buc-ee's.com for the location near you.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Bonneville International radio station contests are open to participants 18 years of age or older that are residents of Washington State unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contests are not eligible to win unless the station otherwise specifies at its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 60 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. Full general contest rules are available on seattlesports.com or in person at the station during regular business hours.
The John Schneider Show.
Every Thursday until draft day on Wyman and Bob.
Listen live Thursdays at 4 p.m. or watch the interviews on the Seattle Sports YouTube page.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
I've always said, the car sales in the 1980s and 1990s, earned the rep that we have today. The concerns that consumers have because of what has happened in our industry in the past, they're warranted. It's our job to show them that that's not how business is done anymore, right? It's very different business. It's much more transparent. There's much more information that's available to people, and we're much more customer focused than I think the car industry was, 20, 30 years ago. I'm more focused on providing good customer service and relationships because I think if you take care of people, money will always come. So I think just the philosophy and the focus for us has changed, where I was constantly chasing a paycheck, and now I'm just constantly trying to take care of customers and employees, because I know if I do that, then my paycheck will take care of itself.
The LJ Way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Well, every year, Brock, this is one of the highlights.
That's a tradition unlike any other.
Unlike any other. Our opportunity to sit down with the catcher, Cal Raleigh. And we've learned a lot about Cal over the years and excited to do this. Cal, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, guys.
Is there anything new to learn this year, or do you want to just replay last year's interview? What do you think?
You just run it back, right? Replay the old one.
Yeah.
Now, we learned about you. We learned about Jason Varitek. We've learned enough.
You made fun of Ty France stealing a base or something a year ago. Man, a lot of things happened in 365 days.
I think Ty told us he was going to steal a bunch with the shorter distance between.
I don't know if he did or not.
No,
did he get one last year?
No.
I don't know.
I beat him last year.
Yes.
So.
I think you did.
Yes.
I won't make a joke. I was going to
No.
make a joke about how you got to get on base to steal. I won't do that.
No.
That's just rude, quite frankly, and very unnecessary because Ty's a nice guy. How are you feeling? How do you come into camp this year?
I feel great. I came in strong, ready to go. I feel good. No injuries yet, and keyword there. No, but yeah, everything's
But you
great.
caught a lot last year. I mean, you caught a lot of games. So what do you need to do at the end of that to refresh and make sure that you come back now ready to go?
Yeah, I just think it's like a process, right? You take your time off in the off season, not just physically but mentally to kind of refresh, get away from it, and from there you start building kind of the basics with building a core of like the strength and speed, and then you keep working your way up until you get to camp and try to get into shape and just kind of build on that. And the biggest way to get into game shape is playing games. So it's hard to really do anything until you get into that kind of that space. So played 5 yesterday, felt good. Had some long innings, which is kind of good to get under your belt.
A lot of pictures floating around the interwebs wondering, is it a slim down big dumper? A lot of people wondering, is it a big dumper, slim down, leaner, move things around, or are we status quo?
We're pretty status quo, I'd say.
Status quo?
Yeah,
Okay.
we're right where we need to be. So, you have your time in the off season to enjoy some foods and some not so heavy lifting and running days. So, but yeah, once you get closer, slim down a little bit, put some muscle on, and kind of go from there.
So season ends, call it September 30th. What do you do as beat up as you are then, and especially really the last couple years, the thumb the year before, last year, all the caught games, the bumps and bruises. How long before your body actually, you wake up and you're like, oh, nothing hurts and I feel good?
It was actually weird because once I stopped moving, I actually was hurting more. It was really weird. Like
Wait till you're 49.
So they say motion is lotion.
Yes.
Right? And
yes.
So when I stopped moving a couple of weeks there, really all I was doing was golfing was the only motion. And then I was like, man, I got to start like walking or doing something just to get the joints going a little bit because I was getting, tight. And once I started kind of that first phase of lifting, I was like, all right, yeah, I feel good. Feel refreshed here.
You golf righty or lefty?
Righty, yeah.
Righty. You do everything else righty other than switch hit?
Yeah, everything's right. The only thing, is hitting.
And yet, in your career, haven't you been a better hitter lefty than righty? Am I crazy? Am I getting that wrong?
No, you're probably right.
Okay.
Yeah, up to this moment. I'd say last year was my first, kind of solid season from the right side as far as, production and getting, the same amount as at bats.
But when you first were handed a bat, you hit righty?
No. So I get this question all the time.
Come on, Salk,
for as long as I've known,
Goodness.
I've been a switch hitter. So like I've never not known what it's like to be a switch hitter. My dad was a coach and made me a switch hitter from the time I could walk. So if I had to guess, I don't know. I mean, if you put a gun to my head, I couldn't tell you. I'd say maybe left because my little brother's a switch hitter as well, but he was a natural left-handed hitter. Okay. So and we do everything the same. He's like a little, I say miniature version, but he's taller than me. So
oh, is he really?
Yeah, and he's a freshman in high school. So
he's coming.
Yeah.
So we'll get to the rotation here in a minute and get some of your thoughts on the pitchers and
Ask you the same questions everybody
Right,
else
exactly.
asks.
Yeah, the same old. But we had an opportunity to sit with Kevin Seitzer, which was fascinating. He is, as far as I could tell, the exact polar opposite of Brant Brown, who was here at the beginning of life. Just personality-wise, they seem cut from completely different
son
cloths.
of a buck.
Yeah. What do you make? What have you learned? What is the new philosophy of hitting for the 2025 Mariners?
Yeah, I think it's going to be, I mean, you guys have probably already talked about it a little bit, a simplified approach, staying in the middle of the part of the field. It's we like to overcomplicate it sometimes, and we like to get into the weeds and really dig into advanced numbers or, certain angles and things and metrics. But at the end of the day, it's about squaring the ball up and, getting knocks and getting the job done. So I think it's just going to be a simplified approach of going up there and not trying to do too much and, just trying to put bat on the ball. I think that's the big thing is not trying to do too much because, as hitters sometimes we all fall into the trap of, wanting to do more, wanting to manipulate the ball, wanting to force the ball to the fence when in reality, pitchers are the ones that throw the mistakes and throw the home runs. You can't really force the action. You got to take what the pitcher gives you. And early in counts, being willing to take your hit, swinging the right pitches, kind of things like that. So
you said something that had a little football ease to it, kind of perked my ears. And it probably shouldn't be a surprise because you're the position in baseball that wears pads. And you said the only way to really get in baseball shape as a catcher is to play baseball games and to put those pads on. In football, they like to say that's callousing. Like the only way you get in football shape is to callus one another and to hit and put the pads on and get yourself ready to go. How do you balance that? How do you balance that line between, okay, I got to get calloused, but I also got to catch 100 and how many games you catch last year? 50, whatever. How do you find that little balance? Or do you just know, like, I'm going to take a beating. Like this is just comes with the territory. Just got to callous myself up as much as possible to ready for this journey.
That's a really good phrase, the kind of way to put it, the callous. To me, it's just, you got to get ready for the season. You got to be in that kind of shape to, not just only perform in one game, but perform back to back and kind of get into that mode of, because I think a lot of times, guys come into spring training and they're like, oh, I feel great. I feel amazing. But you're also, taking days off in between, and you're also well rested. You're not traveling thousands of miles. You're not getting on planes, getting in at 3 a.m. So it's really almost forcing yourself, even when you don't feel good, having that kind of discipline to train, to work, and to show up each day and playing games, even when things don't quite feel all that right. Because, that's the majority of the games. There's very rarely, I think maybe the first couple games of the year is like, oh, yeah, I feel great. And then after that, no, you don't feel great. So it's just all that stuff and just training yourself, your mind, and your body to be ready for those games and be ready for, that kind of beating. And it's not just, the catchers. Even the infielders, outfielders, pitchers, you got to go out there and perform even when you don't feel good.
Does that come from your dad? You've received a lot of accolades in the last few years from peers, managers, coaches, et cetera, for just your ability to tough through it. Does that come from just inside you? Is that your family? Where does it come from?
Yeah, I'd say the biggest influence is my dad. He was a coach. He's always been my coach. And the biggest thing, even to this day, he's a guy that can kind of hold me accountable and kind of tell me the hard truths. And, he brings a great perspective, to my mind a lot of the times. And he just, he's always telling me, there's a lot worse things you could be doing. You get to play baseball for a living. You get to be out there every single day. People will kill to be doing what you do. So, when you put it into that perspective and you look at it through that lens, it's like, yeah, of course I want to be out there every day, and I want to be out there for my guys, and you want to be, counted for. And, I'd say he's a huge one for me. And, he was a guy that, never took a day off, and kind of same mentality of like show up every day no matter how you're feeling, and you got a job to do. So.
Is there more in the dumper?
Is there more in the dumper?
Yeah. I like to say, is there more in the tank? Is there more in your game? Or is it just like, well, you know what? He's hit 30 home runs. He's done stuff no Mariners catcher's ever done, back-to-back 30 home run years. And, like, is this the ceiling? Or do you think that there is more in the tank?
No, there's more. I believe so. I believe I can. There's plenty of parts of my game I want to improve on. You look at, like, striking out less, more balls in play, a little more better with the average. Even the catching side of it, throwing out more runners. Is there any kind of way I can get better in the leadership side? Things like that. So there's a lot more in the tank, and it's just realizing that you also don't want to lose the things you're good at. So going out there and keeping things I'm good at, but also kind of accounting for early in the off season, like, all right, these are kind of the areas I need to improve on. This is what I kind of road I want to take.
You mentioned the leadership aspect, and it's sort of the perfect lead-in, and I don't want to spend too much time on this, but a few years ago, you made headlines talking about some of your frustration with the way the team had been built at that time. A couple of years later, we show up here, and it was a quiet offseason for the Mariners. Some of the fan base has been, what's the right word for it?
Vocal
about some of their frustration, or let's just call it restlessness. How does that sit in the clubhouse with you and with your teammates?
Yeah, I think the way we look at it is we have a job to do, and we have to go out there and we have to kind of look internally, right? We can't really worry about what's going on outside of us and outside the team, things that we can't control. The things that we got to worry about is us, and we got to continue to get better, and we got to kind of own up to maybe our shortcomings and maybe where we fell short, and understand that we're not perfect, and we gotta get better in each phase of the game, and that's everybody from top to bottom, doesn't matter. Even the starters, as good as they are, they can still improve their game. And as hitters, we know we need to take a big step up as well. And so it's more about looking internal and like, all right, we need to kind of get our crap in line. We need to get going and kind of step up this year.
Was there some communication too in the off season? Were you in communication with Dan or Justin or Jared, somebody along the way, sort of just staying with you as one of the team leaders as the offseason progressed?
Yeah, I got to talk to Dan a lot this offseason. That was more, I'd say, baseball, more so than it was front office talk or anything like that. We kept it kind of straightforward in the sense of this is kind of how we're approaching spring training, what we want to accomplish, where we see where our team at right now, and what kind of we can improve on. Kind of like I was talking about, like internal, like what can we control, what can we get better at, and I think that's something that we can make a big emphasis on this spring training.
What should we know about Dan Wilson?
Well, I think you guys all know how awesome he is as a person, right? I mean, everybody loves Dan Wilson, but I think kind of the fierceness side of him, the competitor side of him is a real thing, and he has that kind of fire. I think it's maybe you don't see it as much because in the day-to-day he's such a nice guy, and he's so good with everybody, with relationships and things like that. So, but the guy wants to win. The guy has that kind of fire in his belly as far as he wanting to go out there and compete and win and not take crap from anybody. So that's the side I think you'll see on the manager side. The thing maybe you haven't seen quite yet. But the guy, he wants to do it the right way, and he wants to get this thing done.
Do you enjoy managing all your different personalities? We've chatted with Bryce. We've chatted with Mr. Wu. We're going to chat with Logan. Right, we get a chance to spend 15, 20 minutes with them. They're all, and we haven't even chatted with Kirby, I don't think, hardly ever.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all uniquely different. And Luis, do you enjoy kind of unlocking, communicating, needling, just managing? You're kind of the manager, right? Managing those relationships, pitcher, catcher-wise?
Yeah, I do. I really do. I think it's fun. It's not easy, but it's a lot of fun. And it's kind of like you said, they're all different. And the way that you talk to them, the way you approach them, how they feel on certain things, how they react to certain situations is completely different. And that's top to bottom. That's starters all the way down to the relievers. And
Can you give us an example of that?
Yeah, I mean, there's more guys that, I'd say in general, I'd say the example is like, some guys you want to talk to maybe a little differently in the sense of like, positivity. You want to build them up. You want to tell them how good they are. You want to tell them, how tough they are to be, how tough they are as pitchers to face, and how hard it is for hitters to kind of square that ball up, and it kind of gives them that confidence back. Whereas maybe some other guys, you're kind of getting on them a little more, saying, I know there's more in the tank. I know you can do more. Like, I know you can give me like a little extra. And, each guy is a little different in the sense of that. And, you pick your spots. There's times and places where you do have those conversations and places you don't.
Who's the most confident guy in the staff?
Confident.
I won't ask you the opposite. That's not fair. But the most confident guy in the staff?
That's a tough one. I mean, there's a lot of confident guys. Staff, I don't know. I'd say... I don't know. Bryce has got this kind of confidence to him in the sense of like he's never like, never worried, same heartbeat the whole time. He's kind of got that. Louis kind of got this swag about him where he just walks out there and you're like, damn, that guy's, he's going to shove it down my throat kind of thing, and nothing affects him. Logan has this kind of mentality of like go kill the guy, like where he's kind of got this psycho kind of.
That's Walter. It's
That's
Walter.
Walter. George is kind of like silent, but fierce out there, just in the sense of like just get after you. And then, Wu's still kind of coming into his own in the sense of trying to find himself full season. And but when he locks it in, he's about the hitters when they get to first base, they're like that's different.
Yeah. What is the deal with his fastball? Well, I mean, why can't people hit his fastball?
I would look at guys like example, like a Woodruff with Milwaukee, Freddie Peralta with Milwaukee as well, Zach Wheeler, Jacob deGrom. Like, I know I'm not just throwing those names out at you guys. Like, that's the kind of stuff that he has, and like he's been blessed with that, like easy down the mound. He moves really well. Like you just look how easy and how easy, like you see how like it just flows down the mound, and like all those guys have that kind of similarity if you go and watch, and he has that. And like I don't say that lightly, but like he has.
So does the ball get on you
it.
quicker because of it? Because it's an easy delivery, you're not expecting it to be as fast as it is, or to get where it's going as quickly?
Yeah, I mean, it comes out so smooth, and it's so efficient and like easy cheese. You know what I mean? Like you see some guys out there and they're grunting and they're throwing hard, but it's max effort, and like you see him and you're like, is he even going like 60%? And he's throwing 95 and he's just blowing it by people, and it's what that deception is killer.
The other day, Salk and I were chatting last couple minutes here with Cal Raleigh. Thanks again for all the time. One of our highlights every year. We were just chatting about how, man, every once in a while at this level, right? You guys are the 1% of 1% to make it to the bigs and all of it. People and you guys will marvel at each other, like, wow. You know, and obviously Mooney's changeup the other day, right? That 10-inch drop, just wow. Mm-hmm. How many times do you and can you still be wowed? Where you in your position who have caught everything, seen everything, hit everything, where you're just like, dang, that's different.
That's different.
Yeah, I mean, they keep finding ways to do it, right? I mean, with like pitches and just coming in. And I think it just like speaks volumes to guys wanting to get better.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's trying new things. It's not being scared, you know, it's having that kind of mentality, that edge to you. Like, I want to keep getting better. I want to keep continuing to find ways to get guys out, and I want to see if I can improve my game in this aspect, and not being scared to go out there and try those things, because, you know, at the end of the day, you can't play scared. And those guys don't play scared. They go after you, and they try new things. They're not afraid to fail, and, you know, it kind of speaks volumes to the kind of staff and how they go about it.
You guys got a team that can make the playoffs and win some games?
We do. I'm really excited. You know, I've liked what I've seen so far with the guys. You know, they're ready to go, and, you know, I'm ready to go to war with these guys. It's they've had great off seasons, and, you know, I know we're all really excited about, you know, what's to come, and I think we're ready to take that challenge on and take that next step.
I hate to ask a business question, but I'll slide one in here at the end, because I know you changed agents somewhat recently within the last year, and I know there's a lot of Mariner fans that saw that news and hoped that it was a sign that maybe you were interested in signing a long-term deal to stay with the Mariners for quite a few more years. Is that a possibility?
Yeah, I mean, I've said it before, I would love nothing more to, you know, play for one team my whole career, and, you know, Seattle has been nothing but good to me. You know, you guys and everyone else, you know, they've welcomed me with open arms, and, you know, the people are great. I love the city. I love this organization, and, you know, I really would love that. You know, some of that's out of my hands, obviously.
But are you someone that feels you have to test free agency, you owe it to yourself to get and see what the open market is? Or is it a possibility to sign something before then?
No, I'm completely open to signing something before then. You know, you know, like I said, I would love that, nothing more than that, to be with one team. And, you know, I love this org, and I'm open to anything. I'm not closing any kind of, I guess, books or whatever it is, but I'm not closing any possibilities, and you know, I want to have all the options I can. So. And
last thing for me, and Salk mentioned this earlier, you know, your comments a couple of years ago, I think there was just an infusion of love from the fan base. Your home run went a long way in that as well, of getting to the playoffs. Do you feel like, man, I can feel these fans and how badly they want this? Do you guys feel that? Do you feel that in your position, that this is a fan base that is just starving to get to a World Series they've never been to, right? To get to some of these mountaintops as an organization with all these Hall of Famers, great, they've never gotten there. Do you feel that when you're around town and in the building?
Oh, yeah, 100%. I mean, and it makes it difficult when you come up short, because, you know, it's not just you're failing yourself, you're failing your teammates, your coaches, but you're failing, you know, fans and people that invest time and money, because, you know, at the end of the day, you know, the game is about the people who, you know, care about us, and the people who come out to the games and the city, and that's what makes it so much harder. Is, you know, it's not just, you know, we're not just failing as a, you know, team that year, where we're failing other people, and, you know, I think it's tough because we made it and we saw how much joy and how much it brought to people and how much it meant to them, and, you know, to come up short, it's like you don't want to come up short again because of, you know, how it makes those people feel and how many people are relying on you, in that kind of sense of after you've been there and done that, and how many people it kind of touches, and that's kind of makes it kind of bigger than baseball.
Cal, we appreciate it. It is truly one of our highlights each year when we get to come down here and sit and hear from you and hear your perspective on things. We really do appreciate it. Thanks for doing it, and good luck this year. We'll look forward to watching.
Appreciate it. Hit him straight.
There goes Cal Raleigh, who sat down with us on tape a couple days ago and ran it today. And look, it is one of our highlights. I think Logan and Cal are the two guys that you and I have both really enjoyed specifically speaking with and learning from every year.
Yeah, I've asked people at times in my production meetings, like, if you had to sit next to a guy on your team for a cross-country flight, who do you want to sit next to? And I think those are the two. For me, like, yep, it'd be really fun. And maybe I wouldn't ask him things like, "You have anything left in the dumper?"
Yeah, what was up with that? A lot of text response on the dumper question.
Yeah, like, listening back to that
was awkward.
Maybe there's a way I could frame
repeated it
better.
back to you because even he was like,
"No,
what,
it was
what does
Jim.
that
It was
mean?"
like Jim Gaffigan, Hot Pockets. Like,
why not what?
Why not what?
Like, is there anything left in the what?
Hey, what did he just ask me? Can I ask you quickly the one question I asked you off the air about, Cal? Do you think you'll ever see a C on somebody's shirt again?
Yes.
Like Veritek had that captain, that C.
Right.
Do they still do that?
It's not common, but it's not never. I think if Cal were to sign a long-term deal, you might see the C on his chest.
Yeah.
I think without that, it's pretty hard to do.
Probably not.
I think it's just knowing that you may not have him for long enough. I think that's something you got to know. Hey, this guy's committed to being here long-term. If you're going to make somebody a captain, it's got to be something that isn't going away anytime soon. And that's a real question, right? I mean, like, again, I loved his answer. I'm glad to hear that he's no longer with Scott Boris's agency, and that now he's in that regard more open to the idea.
And where is he? Do we know where he is at arbitration-wise, or where he's at? This is year 4?
This is year 4, so he'll have
a couple more years.
Yeah, a couple more years.
Yeah.
So those are all very real questions, and I think without that, pretty hard to put a C on anybody's chest. Brock, I think we're going to talk to Shannon next because we didn't get a chance to do that at 8 o'clock like we normally do, and we miss Shannon, and we'll see if we can locate her. I don't know. I don't see Shannon anywhere. We'll find her. She's loud enough.
She's hard to find.
See, now you're just.
Oh, I'm
that's
sorry.
not very nice.
Here we go.
Don't make short jokes about Shannon. She'll join us next on Brock and Salk.
Seattle Sports, your home for Bump and Stacy.
It sure seems like Geno Smith will be back with the Seahawks in 2025. 2 things we heard this weekend that tell us that. First, Mike McDonald's interview with Fox 13.
Geno's our quarterback. I don't understand the conversation.
Tom Pelissero had this to say.
The Seahawks appear to be all in on Geno Smith for 2025.
To me, it's obvious. Geno has to be the guy. You're in a position where you're not going to draft high. You can't still get a quarterback late and hope you develop. But Geno has showed he can win you some ball games.
Streaming live on the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here from my friends at PCF Group, or People Come First Construction Group, and that's exactly what they did when we made the call a couple years ago. We wanted to redo our outdoor space, wanted to add a deck, an outdoor living, a television, and a kitchen. And PCF Group, wow, they more than delivered. And if you're interested in building a stunning outdoor area like we did, I cannot recommend them enough. Reach out before the good weather arrives, and their schedule, well, it's going to fill up. So whether you're looking for a complete outdoor living space or a very specific project like an underdeck ceiling, deck, patio cover, railings, PCF has you covered. Design now and pay later. In fact, get 12 months, no interest and no payments, and up to $6,000 off and a $1,000 Amazon gift card. Request a complimentary design and estimate consultation at 425-629-8476 or project ideas. Explore photos at pcfgroup.com. That's 425-629-8476.
There she is, founder and CEO. High five.
Dave can't stop celebrating with every business owner in town.
All right, Baker Man, high five.
He's sharing the excitement of big savings with the Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee.
Oh, up top, bike shop. Yeah.
It's 5 years of gig speed internet.
Quick, high five.
5 years of advanced security.
5 years.
And 5 years of a great rate that won't change.
Yeah, law partners. Chamberlain, Messethorpe, Dubois.
All from the company with 99.9% network reliability. Switch today and get the 5-year price lock guarantee.
5 years!
It's back, but only for a limited time.
Woo!
Powering 5 years of savings, powering possibilities. Comcast Business.
Can't forget you, voiceover guy.
Ah, thanks, Dave.
High five!
Ends 3/9/25.
Guaranteed rate applies to monthly service charge for new customers on qualifying internet bundle, excluding taxes and fees. Other restrictions apply.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is for you too. Stubborn fat is really hard to get rid of, and then there's all those gimmicky lasers, fat freezing methods, and prescriptions. Imagine a simple solution that takes just one day and provides immediate noticeable results. Introducing ProSculpt. ProSculpt uses air-assisted technology that's safe and gentle yet powerful, delivering instant fat-reducing and skin-tightening results. Performed by board-certified plastic surgeons while fully awake, ProSculpt contours your body with minimal downtime. It's designed to target those problem areas: waistline, neck, face, arms, thighs. ProSculpt gently removes unwanted fat and tightens loose skin with FDA-cleared plasma technology, all in a simple, guaranteed one-day procedure. ProSculpt is one and done. Schedule your free consultation at prosculpt.com for $250 off. For powerful permanent fat removal and skin tightening that works for ladies and you men, it's prosculpt.com.
Discover LeMay, America's car museum in Tacoma. Explore 300 world-class cars, 100 years of history, and the Shinka exhibit with 50 iconic Japanese sports cars. Thrilling race simulators and fun for the whole family. Visit americascarmuseum.org.
Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest. The best place to watch all your favorite sports. Featuring wall-to-wall viewing screens, 6 windows, and 30 kiosks. Be there at emeraldqueen.com. Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest.
Seattle, it's almost showtime at T-Mobile Park. Be here when the action gets started March 27th with Mariners opening day, featuring a ceremonial first pitch from Hall of Famer Ichiro. The fun continues with Randy Arozarena Crossed-Armed Hoodie Night March 28th and Hello Kitty Bucket Hat Night March 29th. Then, don't miss the 3-day Julio Bat Flip Bobble Giveaway March 31st to April 2nd with tickets starting at $10. So get ready, get set, Mariners baseball is finally on deck. Grab your tickets at mariners.com.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time and skip the regular line at the airport and pay for speedy security. Imagine not having to quickly unpack and pack at the place you already came packed to. And wearing your shoes the whole time you're there? You can't put a price on that kind of luxury. Well, actually you can, and you paid for it. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time for speedy security. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
T-Mobile 5G home internet keeps getting better. Get our fastest connection loaded with benefits. Get T-Mobile's best home internet starting at $55 a month with auto pay and any voice line. Plus, price lock. We won't raise your rate on internet. Check availability at T-Mobile.com/home internet.
Exclusions like taxes and fees apply. Guarantees regular monthly rate plan price of fixed wireless 5G internet data with qualifying service. After $15 bill credit with postpaid voice line plus $5 a month without auto pay with debit or bank account. Regulatory fees included for qualifying accounts. $35 connection charge applies. Speeds vary due to factors affecting cellular networks.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports.
Give me a freaking auto!
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
Brock Heward and Marcus. Sorry about just Mike.
Heward, not exactly Joe Cap there in the pocket.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Heward and Mike Salk.
Yeah, a little fun going over and hanging out with the minor leaguers while they were working out over there.
I had to get my eyes on Felnine Celestine in particular. He is in the words of Ryan Divish, he's in that same grouping with Colt Emerson. He's in the quad god. He's a quad god guy. He's got big old thighs.
He's filled out in the last couple of years.
He has. But it is interesting looking at both Colt and him and realizing they are 19 years old and there's still more there. Like a lot more, especially upper body development. But yeah, good athlete. I also wondered, like Felnine looking at Colt, like, interesting. Both shortstops, right? And both very highly thought of, and a first-round pick and a huge international signing. And
I think just Felnine, unfortunately, has had some of that injury stuff, and so
yes,
just isn't quite, essentially missed the whole year of ball last year.
Correct.
He's coming, though. He's a pretty interesting kid.
We tracked you down. Look who we tracked down.
Shannon Drayer, how are you?
This is like...
Oh, hold on. We got to turn it down or back up. We turned it down for Lyle because he screams.
Lyle eats the microphone.
Right.
We have Lyle who's got talking like this for a while.
So we got to like normalize it for you, Shannon. Sorry about that.
Very good.
Yeah.
I mean,
But honestly, the most impressive athletic feat you saw today was my wall sit.
Shannon did a 3-minute wall sit with me.
3 minutes?
Oh, with ease.
Jeez.
In shoes, platforms.
Yeah.
Very impressive. Now, the platforms make that easier or harder?
Oh, well, to be fair, I think we were at about the same level, so I was not nearly as far down as Brock
You weren't
was.
quite as low in the wall set.
Yes.
All right.
Gosh, Tucker, you feed Tucker one thing, and he comes back and knows right where those chumps are.
Yeah,
Have you ever met a Labrador before?
No, not
That's
really.
what they do.
Is that what they do?
I'm not a dog person.
Okay, all right.
Shannon, I think I've got a little baseball crush. I think I've found myself a little baseball crush down
I think
here.
I know who it
On
is.
Ben Williamson.
Oh,
I think
okay.
I've got a little Ben Williamson baseball
And we're gonna
Well, and he was
meet
on the
him?
list of somebody to watch carefully.
I'm
closely this
watching
spring.
him very carefully.
Yes.
Every time I see him play, I see a major leaguer. I see a guy who makes every play you would want him to make in the field, who runs the bases well and hard, who has as far as I can tell, a perfectly decent swing. I know Keith Law disagreed with me. Hits the ball hard a lot, swings at good pitches.
You don't need 25 home runs at third base?
Well, he might not give you that. Certainly not right now. But what did I get from Josh Rojas last year? I mean, like, it's hard for me to imagine that kid's not going to see some time this year.
No, and they feel completely comfortable with the defense. A lot of folks say he could step in right now and provide, if not Gold Glove defense, near Gold Glove defense at third base. But I've been pleasantly surprised with what we've seen from him at the plate and on the bases. I didn't realize he ran the bases as well as he did either. So there are a lot of the tools that are there in place.
Is that the challenge, though? Is just not enough power as a corner infielder? Does that adage still play in today's game?
It doesn't have to, but you have to get on base. You can't be an out at the plate. And,
Right.
you don't want the strikeouts, obviously, but that's why we're watching right now. And the other thing that I would caution at this point is, again, the young guys, when you were seeing them in games, they're going up against pitchers who are not ready. They're going up against them later in the game who are probably not going to break camp with the first 2 weeks, they look awfully good, and then all of a sudden you see things really catch up with them quickly. But the defense is not going to change. The base running is not going to change. And he has a good idea of what he wants to do and what he can do at the plate.
You know what I've learned and how I gauge that? If they got a number in the 70s and they're pitching, then it's probably not a major leaguer.
Probably not real.
It's kind
if they don't have a
giveaway.
name on the back of their jersey, is usually another pretty good sign that
Yes.
they're
Or
not
if somebody else has the same number.
not quite ready for prime time.
Yes.
All right, let me ask you another roster-related question.
Uh-huh.
Mitch Haniger going to be here on April 1st?
Well, that's another thing that everybody's keeping an eye on right now. He's looked good in camp. He's looked healthier.
Is he here?
Yes, he is here.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I haven't seen him.
He had a home run in his first
I've
at-bat
seen him in the
because
games.
that's what he does.
I've seen him in the games. And I'm only here for a certain amount of time. I've not seen him one time.
Have you gone down and watched any outfield work?
No.
I know.
I haven't done that. Is that where he's been?
All eyes have been on what the infielders are doing.
I guess that's fair.
I think that has something
But just
to do
walking
with it.
around, I haven't seen. Usually, I find that I run into him a lot. I haven't seen him. I know he's here. I'm obviously joking, but I don't know. Something jumped out to me yesterday. Maybe it was seeing Tellez hit the home run, trying to just think through what this roster is going to look like, and I just don't know how he fits on the roster. And if they weren't able to do anything with him in the offseason,
He can't be your DH 3 out of 4 days?
If he can hit, they can find a place, and it's been simplified all the way down to that, which is actually best for him. It hurt him last year to play in the field as much as he did. And not just over the course of the season, but the first month of the season, the first 2 months, because if you look back to all the way back then, when he was healthy, when he was fresh coming out of spring training, he was the only one pretty much that was hitting at the beginning of the season and helping this team. So I think it is, if he is on the roster, you have to, be disciplined in how you use him.
Any of these young guys popping to your eye a little bit? You've seen, as you mentioned, be careful. Nothing is predictive. There are a lot of minor leaguers, and I'm not even talking on the field, but just being and popping around the building as you do. Any of these young guys making an impression?
Probably too early. It has been good to get my eyes on Michael Arroyo for the first time, and this is about the only...
Poor guy got blown away yesterday. That was a tough AB he had in that game. Lay off a fastball down the middle, swing at a curveball outside, and then get blown away swinging on a fastball high. I was like, ooh, that's That's a tough little welcome to a major league at bat.
Yep, and that's why they're here.
Yep.
They're not going to see that during the regular season.
Yeah.
And he's going to leave for WBC qualifying too. So,
Oh, cool.
and they like that they get that experience. So it'll be interesting, but very, very highly ranked.
How many guys are
highly
leaving?
regarded prospect. I don't think a lot of them.
Not many
I
of
don't
them.
know.
Okay.
What'd you think of Laz's defense yesterday? That dude made 3 really nice plays in the
Didn't
field.
see it. I was over here at that point. But
Shannon, he made 2 excellent throws and 1 really nice play to track a ball down.
yeah.
This is a conversation. For all the talk that his defense was a disaster, looks just fine.
And what I like is he takes every aspect of his game seriously. It would be so easy for him to go up there and I'm going to just, big swings. I'm going to be that guy. He takes every aspect of his game. And sometimes it's almost like he doesn't even want to talk about the hitting. He wants to talk about the other things being important too.
You know what I love about you?
Me?
After all these years.
What?
I just love these snap judgments. What? Got 3 balls to him? Yeah, he's fine.
I'm not saying that. Not saying he is fine, saying
he's competent.
He didn't look like he had the problem that everyone suggested he had.
He didn't look like Daniel Vogelbach playing right field.
And other than you remember, he's 20 years old. He is the third youngest player in this
But when the suggestion is,
this
guy can't field, he can't play the outfield, there's no
just
chance.
Relax.
Is there a
just
chance he could get
take
better
it
in the
down a
minor
notch.
You watch him out there.
I'm just saying, I always appreciate your snap opinion.
Hey,
You're an opinionist.
I did not decide that Michael Arroyo's never going to hit.
No.
Just that what I saw yesterday was a not quite ready for the big leagues at bat, which is fine.
Just shocking when he's 20 years old.
Because he's 20 years old, not ready for the big leagues. Absolutely. But it was still a little comical to just see it out there.
Shannon, will Cal Raleigh ever have a C on his chest? We had him on last hour. I feel when I get asked about leadership or the voice or just our week down here, every year you feel that presence of his grow and grow and grow, and the confidence that everybody has in him and around him. Do you think there will be a C on his? Do they still do that? Is there still
The Mariners have not done that.
They've never done it, huh?
To my knowledge, they have not done that.
Okay.
So I think that, I get where you're going and what you're saying.
Kind of the
about
Veritek
that.
thing, right? Like that was his idol. That's what he kind of envisions. And yeah, you're right. As we're looking at all those memorable players, there was no C on any of those guys' jerseys.
Yeah.
But he's the captain of this.
What does Mike think? Snap judgment.
I just said not unless he signs a deal.
Yeah.
Right.
I just don't think you could put it on a guy who might only be here for 2 more years. Like, if you want to be a captain, you got to sign a long-term deal, and then you can think about bestowing that sort of honor on someone. It's not every team has one. So if you're going to do it, you got to have something really special about you that speaks to that, and some of that
Probably
involves
be a
commitment.
lifetime player.
Yeah, it's a commitment to the organization, and yeah, I think that some of that does come with signing a long-term deal.
A little breezy today, Shane.
It is. We've got carts rolling
Carts
around,
flying.
and,
Were you covering the team in 05?
Yes.
Wow. Same year as Colt Emerson being born?
Just gonna smash
Isn't
it
it?
now.
No.
Back to the wall. Go do another set.
No,
Seriously, bro.
No,
why would you say that?
I looked at the wall there and I asked Colt, like, you recognize many of those guys, right? I mean, to that point, he was born in 2005.
Well, it's funny. I dropped it on Julio the other day that the extra bats that they're getting, and there was some question if he would go hit in some minor league games. And Edgar he's like, yeah, I heard, some of the old guys used to go and like hit in 3 different minor league games and take 5 at bats in each. And I'm like, yeah, Edgar used to do that. I wasn't going to say the name. I'm like, well, I was there.
Shannon, thank you for
what was that, 87, 88?
Thank you for moving the schedule around for us today. It's been fun. I love that we get to catch up with you every day while we're here. And
can I plug a couple of things?
Yeah.
Got a post up right now. I've really heard a little bit more about how the pitchers have become so adaptable in learning new pitches, and the Mariners are doing something really kind of wild in some of the pregame work that they do and some of the throwing program things that they do.
That's up at seattlesports.com.
It's up at seattlesports.com.
And on the Seattle Sports app.
And on the app.
Wow.
Yeah.
Both places.
And then
Hard work.
we had a really nice sit down with Victor Robles.
I saw you guys over there hanging out.
And
what'd you get out of that?
He is so of team. He is as team, and we remember back last year when he was asked not just to fill in for Julio, but also J.P. Crawford. I mean, at a time when the team was pushing, and he didn't play his first month for the most part. And when you hear him talk about that and how important it was that those guys knew that he was going up to Julio every day, we need you back, we need you back. Even though he was taking his spot, you were so important to this team, and making sure JP knew, I'm going to play your walk-up music. You're out, I'm taking your spot at the top of the line, I'm playing your walk-up music, and we need you back. And just really incredible energy, neat person, and we're going to have a little bit more about him.
Sort of like Shannon. Incredible
Friday.
energy, neat person,
Selfless.
does awesome work while she's down here, all about team,
Made you a
willing
key
to
lime
move till
pie.
9 o'clock. No, she said no on the key lime pie. Let's be clear. She said she has lemons there and she'll be making something with lemons.
We think they're lemons. We think they're lemons. We're not sure what it
They're
is.
limons of some sort. Shannon, brought to you by Pacific Lamp and Supply. Thank you. This is awesome. Seriously, love getting to catch up with you every day while we're here, and it is one of the super cool parts of getting to be down here for a week.
Love having my team down.
Ah, see, she's all
Even
about team. Now, we'll see if my dad's all about team when he rolls in here at 9:45, because I think he's out for blood. He feels like he has been wrongfully libeled or slandered, and I think he's about to tell lies about me at 9:45. Great. That'll come up in a little bit. First, we'll give you everything you need to know next on Brock and Salk.
Blue 88 on Brock and Salk.
Brock, what is your bold prediction for the Seahawks this year?
Every day at 7:45.
I was looking at the numbers defensively when it was all said and done. Finished in the top 15 in your major categories. I think year 2 with more time on task. Year 2 with a couple additional pieces. Year 2 with everybody basically coming back defensively and hopefully adding a difference maker third corner. This could be a top 5 defense in the league.
Blue 88, answering 3 football questions as only Brock Heward can.
Well, it is fun walking through the body show while we're here and checking out what all of the guys look like. And a lot of them are very physically impressive, especially right now. Pro athletes coming off an off season where they've been working hard, working out. For the rest of us, the regular folks, we don't have the same resources, time, energy, etc., to devote to our diet and exercise. But what if I told you you could be in some of the best shape of your own life, just like some of these guys are, and it only took 45 days? That's all. That's all. You could lose a pound a day with the help of Eastside Weight Loss Clinic. It worked for me. 10 pounds in the first week, 35 pounds after just 8 short weeks. Felt healthy, great food, delicious food, fresh meals, buy it all at the grocery store. No fake boxed meals or anything like that. No pills, no injections. You don't even need to exercise. Find out if you could do it, because I know you can. A 15-minute call is all it takes. No obligation. Schedule it right now at eastsideweightlossclinic.com. You got nothing to lose other than, like, a ton of weight. Go to eastsideweightlossclinic.com. Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
Hey, it's Jason Rantz. Our local tax expert Greg Nunn wants taxpayers to know the IRS is now going after older cases very aggressively. If you received Form CP-504 from the IRS, do not ignore it. Be proactive and resolve your situation with Greg Nunn, N-U-N-N, None Better Tax Resolution.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Ooh, got a dash light on? The AutoZone free Fix Finder service can read your check engine, ABS, and other warning lights to help you find the fix. You'll get an easy-to-read report with clear next steps. And we can recommend a trusted local shop if you need one. It's the most complete free warning light report backed by technician-verified fixes. The free Fix Finder service with shop referral. Only at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC now recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the...
Designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your...
Windshield wipers. eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying... Just beautiful...
Whatever you love, find it on eBay. eBay. Things people love.
4 Down territory. Going inside the game with Michael Bumpus.
I like this. More quarterbacks should start doing this.
Every day at 11:15 and 1:15 on Bump and Stacy.
It's time to go all in at Toyota of Kirkland. All in on the largest savings opportunities on the largest inventory of Tacomas, Tundras, Prius, and the BZ4X. The incredible team at Toyota of Kirkland is all in on your car buying experience. They'll set you up with a test drive and you can take that car home on the same day. Come on down to Toyota of Kirkland and get all in on the best deals with the best inventory. Check out their wonderful showroom today or go all in online at toyotaofkirkland.com.
O'Brien.
Washington State ranks number 5 in the country for auto theft. The most high-risk vehicles are Kia, Hyundai, Ford F-150, F-250, and F-350. Help keep your car safe with these simple and important tips. Don't leave your car running unattended. Park in well-lit areas. Lock up every time. Keep valuables out of sight. Use an anti-theft device like a steering wheel lock. Share this information with friends and family. Prevent the theft and keep you and your vehicle safe. These tips brought to you by the Washington Auto Theft Prevention Authority.
Hey guys, did you know that half of men over age 50 have erectile dysfunction on some level? Whether you have mild, moderate, or severe ED, West Coast Men's Health can help. We don't prescribe pills and hope they work. Instead, we treat the root cause of the problem with acoustic wave therapy, which breaks down plaque, unclogs arteries, and restores blood flow. We have treated thousands of men across our 11 locations nationwide and have established ourselves as a leader in the industry. So whether you have ED, Peyronie's disease, or suffer from chronic pain, such as neuropathy, carpal tunnel, or Dupuytren's contracture, West Coast Men's Health can help. No pills, no shots, no surgery, just results.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call West Coast Men's Health at 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. Up first.
Did you like Easy Cheese? As a kid, came right out of a little can. You like Easy Cheese in a can?
I was looking for that.
It's so good.
Like a month ago.
It's so good.
I couldn't find it.
I think it's probably so full of chemicals.
Yes.
That you're not allowed
I was just trying to find
anymore.
like the cheese whiz out of the thing, string cheese. Couldn't find it.
Couldn't find either.
Out of the aerosol can.
Aren't they basically the same thing? Easy Cheese and string and
I believe
whiz?
so. Yes.
I mean, I loved me some Easy Cheese as a kid, and unfortunately, I don't think you can get it anymore.
No.
But George Kirby's got it. He's got it for days, man. Easy Cheese throwing 98 miles an hour yesterday like it's nothing, like he's playing catch in the first inning. Pretty cool. Effortless delivery. Got away from him a little bit in the second inning, as it has for each of these starters as they've gone through. Bryce Miller will get his shot today, and I think Brian Wu will go tomorrow night. I think that's my understanding. Offensively, got a home run from Rowdy Tellez. That was about it. Dan Wilson, we spoke with him, and I think one of the things he likes most about the way this camp has gone is that everybody is kind of on the same page, working hard and making a name for themselves without standing out with one person specifically. Cut to Dan. This was Dan with us yesterday.
You're going to think I'm going to be diplomatic about this, but I'm not going to mention one because all of them came into the camp very, very prepared. I think that's one of the things, and we've talked about it as a staff in there, that we've all been very impressed with. They came into this camp. They've put a lot of work into the offseason to a man. And that's been really, really great to see. Sometimes you get to camp and there's a guy over here or two guys over here that didn't do the work. You can tell on day one. There has been it's actually been the opposite, where we've gotten to camp and day one we're like, wow, these guys have really put in the work to be ready. That's an awesome feeling.
Yeah, I think just George Kirby throwing 98 miles an hour is pretty darn reflective of that. Remember, even 15, 16 years ago, you would see guys kind of ramp up and build up. And, 20, 30 years ago, the thought of throwing 98 miles an hour in your first spring training, starting your first inning, are you out of your mind?
Just wasn't a real thing.
No, but these guys are largely 12 months a year, have such a process, as you heard Colt Emerson say. And that struck me. Like the first thing you got to do to get from your level to this level is find that process that works for me.
Schedule a process, a routine, things that are repeatable, and then let your natural talent come out over time.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
A day after John Schneider met with the media in Indy, it was Mike McDonald's turn yesterday, Brock. We got to hear from the coach, talked a little bit about the offense, and specifically about DK Metcalf. Cut 6, DK's usage went down in the back half of that year, or last year. How come?
From my understanding, going into the Atlanta game, I think he was tops in the league in targets. I'm not sure where the numbers were, but it's that trend of focus around the offense that we're shooting for. And then to Jax's credit, and DK not being 100%, throughout the probably the second, third quarter of the season, it speaks to Jax's development. But we want to get the ball to DK. We want to make sure that he's a focal point of our offense for sure.
And by the way, that is one tentacle to the whole DK conversation we've not talked a lot about the last couple of years. The ability to stay fully healthy. Tough sucker. Will absolutely play through injury, do things that other guys cannot.
He's been significantly healthier than people thought when he first got into the league,
well, that was like
included.
Neck injury. I mean, that was like broken neck. Like, oh my gosh.
Well, and also just was he so jacked and so built that he wouldn't be able to
You'd have constant
maintain
hamstring. His stuff has not even really been like soft tissue. It's been knee, it's been shoulder, it's been back, But he has been a guy that's been a little bit banged up, and big body receivers sometimes have a hard time sustaining.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
Let's see. Players Association in the NFL came out with their big rating for the 32 franchises. Seahawks in the middle at 15th, down one spot from 14th a year ago. I don't know how much to make of this stuff. You certainly like to be up near the top, and maybe that is helpful for free agency. But I did like to see that they were responding to that, right? Like, oh, hey, you think that we need a family room? Great, we'll build a family room. Oh, you think that we got a problem with our training room or our top? Great, we'll renovate them and build new ones. So they're at least listening to
your
their
college
players.
facility was nicer than this?
Man, that college thing is legit, though. I remember you texted me last week and said, hey, I think Jim Nagy's going to end up taking a job somewhere. Yeah. Maybe he's taking NFL interviews. And my immediate response was, or maybe he's going to be one of these college GMs.
Right. That's right.
Guess what? He's going to be a college GM at Oklahoma. I saw somebody else just got hired to be a college GM as well. I forgot. Like, there's so much money there now that
there is.
It's getting spent
Our buddy
on people.
Cam Foster, the agent up there in Seattle, is working in that front
I saw
office
another
as
one
well.
yesterday, though. I forget who it was. In any event, clearly, it's
different world, man.
It's on the NFL teams to spend some of that.
Yep, different world.
All right, that's everything you need to know. Quarter past every hour here on the Brock and Salk Show.
You can still order Cheese Whiz. Well, it says it's at Walmart, but you can order it off Amazon.
What about Easy
Your
Cheese?
birthday's both of them.
Both?
Your birthday's coming up. Would you like some?
Easy Cheese and crackers? Mm-hmm. Yeah, not Cheese Whiz. Cheese Whiz is good but gross.
I saw both of them.
I mean, they're both good but gross, to be honest.
Do you think there's any chemicals and preservatives in either of them?
I think there might be some.
Just a
Did you
little
ever
bit.
like that, was it windspread cheese? The, sort of pinkish, beer, it's like a beer spread
I don't
cheese.
know if I ever had that in Puyallup.
Ooh, that is
We had the Sam's Club
Very fake.
nacho cheese. It came out of like a gallon paint
that's
drum.
like the Cheese Whiz.
Oh my god!
Let's see. The ingredients are milk,
Yeah.
whey, canola oil, maltodextrin,
Oh, yeah.
milk protein concentrate,
Uh-huh.
sodium phosphate,
There we go.
Yep, keep it going.
Yeah.
Keep it going. Get to
Arsenic,
the chemicals.
I think is in there.
modified food starch.
Yeah.
Delicious.
Aeration,
Yellow
I think.
dye,
Fertilizer,
orange dye.
yeah. Sodium nitrates. Brock,
Did
my
your-
dad is going to be here
I
in about
know.
20 minutes.
Did
We're going to
he-
have my dad on
did he
before
bring
we
a-
do that.
Did he bring a list?
I don't know
Does he
whether
have notes? A note
I don't know
card or
whether he's
anything?
got notes, but
Oh, he's staring at
he's
you.
got he's
Woo!
this is going to go down.
He's
before
staring you
that
down.
happens, I think it is now safe for us to bring everybody in on what happened late last night and early this morning and the panic that ensued. Oh, it's next on Brock and Salk.
Seattle Sports, your home for Bump and Stacy.
I'm at the gym. I be low key at the gym. I be hat on, hoodie on, headphones in.
So no one recognizes you. Are you a celebrity?
No.
Stop. You got sunglasses on too.
I just get in my zone and block everybody out. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
But I couldn't block this out.
Okay.
One day I'm looking at this guy and he's wearing a Kobe jersey. So I'm really feeling him. I go, that's my guy right there. He doesn't even know. Then I walk in today and my man has on a Larry Bird jersey. And I stopped my workout. I went over him. I go, hey, bro. Sir. I go, hey, you can't do that.
Streaming on your smart speaker.
Are you trying to buy a new home, or are you a local real estate agent seeking financing for a client? We're all tired of dealing with banks, credit unions, and endless guidelines. Wouldn't it be nice to go back in time when we had common sense lending? Hi, I'm Scott Rureka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital based in Bellevue. We are one of the largest local private portfolio lenders in Washington. We've helped thousands of home buyers and real estate investors reach their financial goals by leveraging the Legacy Common Sense borrowing platform. What that means is we lend our own money, we make our own decisions. If your deal makes sense, we'll get it done. Whether you're purchasing a new piece of real estate or refinancing an existing loan, bridge loans, construction, or regular home loan, it doesn't have to be as difficult as banks and lenders make it. If you're trying to grow wealth through real estate acquisition, come talk to the experts in private lending.
Call 425-635-4700 or LegacyG.com. Legacy Group Capital, your common sense lender. LegacyG.com.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 206-529-1111 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Jackson Hewitt wants you to save money on tax prep. We're saving money by having our intern rap in this commercial.
Don't stress, Jackson Hewitt's got expert tax prep, $149 or less. Yo, some tax guys lie about price. What? They got hidden fees, that ain't nice. Ain't nice. Don't ignore MC Kevin's rhyme, cause this deal's for a limited time. $149.
For tax prep that's $149 or less, hurry into Jackson Hewitt today.
No cap.
Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Down, set, Pizza Hut,
Make the play of the game with Pizza Hut. Buy any large Pizza Hut pizza and get another one free. Use code HUT at checkout. That's code HUT for a buy one, get one free exclusive offer to 710 Seattle Sports listeners. No one out pizzas the Hut.
This is Chris Davis with the Davis Law Group. Every year we see a spike in serious accidents involving motor vehicles, bicycles, and pedestrians occurring in the few days after daylight saving time. If you are injured in an accident, protect your legal rights with an experienced team of lawyers who know how to get results. Call Davis Law Group at 206-888-8888 to request a free legal consultation or get my free book on car accident law at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
Heading outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nelly on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
The Cantina at Silver Reef is an experience for your senses. The smells, the sounds, the flavors is a night you deserve. Experience the experience at the Cantina at Silver Reef today. Serving traditionally inspired dishes made with the finest authentic ingredients. This is one experience that you can enjoy more than once in a lifetime. Experience it today at Silver Reef Casino Resort in Ferndale, Washington. And visit our website, silverreefcasino.com, to check out our menu.
No matter how old you get, you always remember that one great teacher. Hi, this is Rick Riz, inviting you to join WSECU in celebrating Teacher of the Week. Great teachers inspire. Nominate a teacher you feel has changed a life in our community. This year, we're going to honor 24 great teachers with grants of $500, courtesy of WSECU, the credit union for Washington. Teachers are the real MVPs. Nominate an exceptional teacher now at mynorthwest.com/teacher.
Calling all pickleballers, Champions of Change and Safeway announced a multi-city pickleball tournament, including celebrity games with Seahawk legends Doug Baldwin, Mike Bennett, Cliff Averill, and more. In collaboration, Nourishing Champions campaign will be raising awareness and accepting donations to provide nutritious foods for student athletes in under-resourced high schools. You can help by donating at your local Safeway checkout. Open to all. The tournaments are in Seattle, Lacey, and Spokane. Register today at championsofchangefoundation.org/pickleball.
So here's the deal with Mariners season ticket memberships. You've got two great options. With a Flex membership, you have the freedom to pick your seats, games, and number of tickets whenever you want. Or if you like knowing where you're sitting all season long, go with a Reserved membership and lock in your seats from day one. Both plans get you access to exclusive pre-sales, year-round discounts, special event invites, and more. Check it out at mariners.com/25.
Cal Raleigh wins it in the 10th inning for the Mariners.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
All right, my dad's going to come by. For those of you who like a little Larry Salk in your spring training week, he'll be here in 15 minutes. He's already staring me down.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, as I've gotten older, I was chatting with a friend yesterday, and this friend has moved out of the market and lives on the East Coast. He's like, I've become really much more comfortable with confrontation.
Okay, good.
Yeah, and I was like, as I've gotten a little older, I've had to deal with more.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't like what I'm sensing. I get up, Maura, we all hug your mother. She brings wonderful brownies. I give your dad a good handshake.
Right.
And you just said.
But you haven't seen them in ages. I saw them last night.
I said, are you going to hug your mother? And you're like, no. I
saw her last night.
So I don't care. It's your mother.
I saw her last night.
And when she's hugging everybody
you haven't
else,
seen her for weeks, months.
Give her a side hug.
Oh my
Not that hard.
I'm not giving
but
her
then
a
on
side
top
hug.
of it, I'm watching your father.
Yeah.
He's
staring daggers. Yeah,
It's what you did to Colin Colin Paisley years ago.
He's loaded for bear.
He is.
Can we tell the story of what happened? I think this is important for people to know. Yeah, I think this is important for people to know. So yesterday, we taped an interview with Julio Rodriguez. It was great. That's one of the main reasons, to come down here.
Sure.
We wanted to make sure we got
Mike,
all
our
of the
market
people
doesn't have a
we
lot
need.
of stars.
Right. He's the biggest star in our market.
We don't have a lot of stars.
That's right.
So we got to
He's
sit
the
with a
one.
star.
We want to make sure we got Cal, Dan, Justin Hollander, Logan, who else was on our list?
Julio.
And Julio. I mean, he was the last one.
Yes.
We want to make sure we got Ben Williamson, my crush, who I guess we're going to talk to.
Colt
in a few
Emerson.
minutes.
Yes.
Yeah, but we want Julio's obviously on that list. So we sit down with Julio. Brock, you were acting like a little scaredy cat because Julio took a little swing and smashed a foul ball off his knee.
Right off his hobbled, screamed, cursed. People rushed to
Brock
him. He went into the dugout. I thought the leg was fractured. I thought it was done.
Guys, this Julio interview's not going to happen. I think he just broke his leg. He might be out for months. Meanwhile, Julio puts a little coat band on. It's like, all right, gets back out there. He's laughing in the cage with his buddies.
Sure.
So he comes over. He sits down. We do the interview. We're planning to play it tomorrow at 8:30. Okay.
20 minutes?
Huh?
Close
yeah,
to 20
15, 20 minutes, I would say, roughly, with Julio.
Well, someone knows exactly how long it was, so I'm just kind of curious.
So, it's longer than 4 minutes. I know that. So this morning, we come in, and it turns out something had happened last night.
Yep.
So Maura, right when you dropped, you picked her up today.
Picked up Justin and Maura. And by the way, I did
cut
not
it real close. By the way,
you're welcome.
I mean, maybe a little later would have been nicer, so they could actually walk in as the show was.
But none of this news was shared in the 20-minute car ride from.
I wanted to tell you guys together. I didn't want to have to do it twice.
Understood.
So Maura sits us down. She says before everything's getting set up, and she says, "Guys, before we do anything, I need to share some bad news." What did you think had happened?
Something in her personal life.
Right.
The way she said it, I was like, oh, no.
That's exactly what
I thought maybe she's got to take some leave. Something in her personal life has
Did you
gone
think Chris had broken up with her? She found something.
Something.
He took my dog. He's gone.
My
Bruin.
two initial thoughts were Maura's going to have to leave after the show.
Yes.
Something has happened either to her father or to her dog.
Oh
Or
my
Chris.
gosh.
Those were
Chris,
those
father,
were
dog.
my two thoughts.
Something deeply
the
personal.
way you said it,
Yeah.
it was like, oh no, this is going to be a really
No,
sad
worse.
moment.
I messed up the Julio audio. No, I'm just kidding. Not worse. I love my family and my boyfriend and my dog.
But
But I was pretty stressed out.
Did you hear something there?
Whoa,
I just hold on. I just want to make sure I heard that right.
Whoa.
I love my family and my boyfriend
Whoa.
and my dog.
We've been dating almost 8 months.
I just want to make sure.
It'd be kind of weird if I didn't say I love you.
I don't
right?
know. I hadn't heard you say that. I've heard it. That's all. Did you heard that?
I think I heard her say she loves her
I think
boyfriend.
I heard a little love in the air. Love is in the air. Anyway, so.
Oh, this is going off the rails.
So, thankfully, Maura then says, I messed up all the audio on the Julio file. I have erased all but the first few minutes of it. And at this point, Brock and I are both like, oh, that's it?
Yeah.
Well, thank God. Everyone's alive. Everyone's okay. Chris isn't like,
The love of your life is okay.
Right, you didn't
Yes.
find out that Chris was actually like, a murderer in a past life, and you had to Google him and found out that
my
he was
goodness.
a criminal or something like that. Like, oh, you just messed up the interview? All right, like we'll deal with that. So anyway, Maura, if anybody knows Maura at all, you know how hard she would take something like this. If you know Maura even a little bit,
I cut so much audio
You do.
every day, and I can't even remember this happening. So I'm like, of all people,
But
Julio.
you're also-
I was so stressed out.
you're a hard worker, and the product is meaningful to you.
It is.
And you are a bit of a perfectionist. You don't like to make mistakes.
Yep.
So to have been personally responsible for ruining the biggest
For deleting the
reason-
Julio
Yeah.
file.
was
You
going to be
guys-
pretty rough.
You guys were very kind, and I have to say, Justin was not here right when Julio got here yesterday, and I was like, what is he doing? He knew that we were doing this. And I kind of gave him a hard time. Then you guys gave him a hard time. And then Julio gave him a hard time.
And
And
then-
now it's going to be Justin's audio from the cameras he set up that's going to save the day. So the audio might not be as clear as we would like it to be, but we
But-
will have Julio audio
Huge
for our
thanks
interview
to
tomorrow.
who helped you out. Give a little shout out to everybody who helped you.
No, I just said.
Justin and
We gave Justin a hard time. I started, and Trevor Bond, who does video for us at the station,
Both
did
of
some hard work on the audio file so
So-
that we will have a Julio interview to air tomorrow.
Good to hear. Thank God.
Lyle wants.
Lyle, yes.
I'm gonna talk real quiet
Okay,
and real
please.
slow
Please
because I
do.
know you guys changed the audio settings on this mic.
Yes.
You see what happened?
We had to turn it back up for Shannon.
No, go ahead.
No,
You're
we're good
fine.
now.
No, I
he's
think
fine.
because
He's
it's
gonna
up,
talk
I'm
slow.
purposely talking
Oh,
quiet.
even
Oh,
better.
good. Now I can talk loud.
Okay.
All right. You see what happens when I'm not fully on the show for a whole week? You guys have to find a different punching bag.
Yeah.
It flusters somebody, and then something like this happens.
Who is this man that put on a microphone and thought that we wanted to hear from him?
That's a good point. Let me just turn it off.
That's a 7-button Henley. Is that right?
Sounds about right, yeah.
Why are 2 buttons unbuttoned? Not at the top.
Probably because I'm lazy
Oh,
and forgot
okay, so
about it.
That's not like the look.
No, I probably just...
1, 2, 3.
That's a lot. Remember we had that intern with the deep V's? Do you remember that, Brock? Years ago, he would wear the deep V's down to like his navel.
Yeah.
That was a look for a little
I don't
while.
like that.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, this was a while ago.
Looks
We
like you
didn't-
borrowed your girlfriend's shirt.
Yeah, it did. And he would wear like multiple deep V's.
So you think it was really our fault? Is that what you're coming on to do?
Maybe you
No,
guys
you're coming
just
on to
fluster
say
people too much.
you're coming on to say that
Here's my
Maura's been the punching bag and we've been hard
mean,
on her.
What do
A
you
little
think
bit.
Maura would have had to sing if the Julio interview? Because, look, we would have. Life goes on. But something would have had to fill up the 8:30 segment, and that's like 20 minutes that Maura would have been responsible for.
Yep.
I wonder what she would have gone with for those 20 minutes, what she would have sung, what movie script she would have acted out for us.
You'll just have to keep wondering.
Yep,
Did
if only you hadn't ruined the Julio video.
Did this keep you up at all last night? Were you stressing? Please tell me.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
I might have said a little prayer before I went to sleep that
Wow.
we figured out a way to recover the audio.
Nice.
Wow.
And
I'm
we
sure
have.
none of this will make its way to Here's the Thing next Thursday.
Never.
I'm sure none of this will be a part of Here's the Thing.
No, not at all.
All right. Well, thankfully, all's well that ends well, and we will have Julio tomorrow at 8:30. Sounds like we'll also have Ben Williamson, God willing, as long as there's no issues with taping that. We're going to tape with him right after the show ends. He's my little baseball crush of the week. Just seeing him play, I really am impressed. I like the way he plays baseball.
Yeah. In a position, it'd be really nice if you could have one of your own.
Yeah.
Been spoiled in the pitching rotation. You've got all your guys. You're a little spoiled, obviously, with Cal Raleigh and Julio right up the middle. But, yeah, left field, finding a Marin, find third base, just find a guy that's homegrown and develop him and have him a long time. And really, the only question is that swing and that power, because the rest of it's really good.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah.
Usually it's kind of defense is not the first thing that you're great at that age. And he sure seems to be.
Yeah, he does.
Can you point him out, by the way, if he were to walk by?
Well, he's going to come over in about 15, 20 minutes.
That's if you're still alive.
after the beating I'm about to take from my
have
dad.
not been so emasculated, humiliated,
Do you think
and
it's weird that he's taking off his belt before the interview? I'm just very surprised at the way this is going.
He's reaching in his back pocket.
No,
I believe that's where he carries his blade.
No, he's brought treats for Tucker. There's no way.
Okay.
He doesn't care about anything else. He just brought treats for Tucker and wants to make sure that Tucker likes
You know what
him.
else we're going to do tonight? I don't know if you're okay with this at dinner. I think we did this last year at dinner time as we watched Justin's unbelievable documentary.
What's it called?
I think we watched it twice.
What's it called?
On Blue Yonder.
Not on Blue Yonder.
Something like that.
What's it called?
The trip, the
Come
road,
on.
the long road. The slow road.
Slow
journey. Slow ride.
Home.
The slow
There we
ride.
go.
Slow ride home.
Slow ride home. Slow ride home.
Yes.
There it is.
Good job, Rob.
Yeah, slow ride home. But I remember we watched it and I loved it. But we also kind of did a best of. So tonight we've got to kind of put to run interviews, just the best clip from each interview.
Yes.
The one thing that kind of stood out.
Anything?
I'd like to do that tomorrow.
I mean, son of a buck.
Yes. I mean, it's going to be tough to beat Son of a Buck.
Yeah, that was unique.
Yeah, Son of a Buck was right there.
Sykes was pretty unique.
He was.
I will say, before my dad comes on, and since it's Thursday and we're kind of getting towards the end of the week, and Justin is over here, I got so Justin Barnes, who you guys may remember, produced the show for a while, was down with us here the last 3 years before this one, and in the last year, Justin left the show, which is sad because now we don't get to rank things every day. But he took on a different role, doing a lot of the social media and video work, digital work for 710. And I was talking to somebody today, I'll leave this person nameless, who came up to me this morning and said, hey, I was on social media this morning or last night, and I saw the Kevin Seitzer clip. And I started watching it because I hadn't gotten to hear any of the Seitzer interview. Well, the next thing you know, I watch that one, and then I watch another one, and then I watch another one, and then I watch another one. I'm like 45 minutes into just watching the videos, the little videos that have been put together. He's like, they're really good. They're like professional. It's not like the old days with like one still shot. Like, these are legit. And I said, thank you. That was all me, and I've really worked hard on that.
Yeah, handy.
Justin is sort of an assistant to me, and he will occasionally, when he's not out fixing people's computers and internet streams
on his moped
around the Seattle area, he'll come up with an idea or two. No, Justin's done
an amazing job.
Yeah, dude, we're pretty lucky.
Yep.
We're a pretty darn good group of people around us. No joke. Maura, despite her problems last night, the dedication is incredible. Lyle, who we've given a tremendous amount of grief to, it's really cool to see him and TJ walking around
in their
this
element
place.
with
In
every
their
young player,
element.
and I'm like, who's that? And they know every single player and where they're from and what they've done and who their mother and father are.
That's
It's
hard.
awesome.
That's really hard to do.
It is.
That is a really hard thing to do, to learn who all the players are, know what you want to talk about them, talk about with them, and then actually have the gall to go over and do it. Not easy to do.
And I think I told you, right? Like yesterday, half hour with the minor league pitcher of the year. No microphones, no recordings, no anything. Just
building relationships.
Just talking. Yeah, just hanging out.
Building relationship. Maura, we've already talked about the incredible hard work. Having Shannon around and seeing what Shannon does every day and her respect that she has around this building and from all of the
takes
players.
the entire team.
It's a pretty darn good team.
Really is a good
no
team.
joke. It is a
We got a
really,
good ball club.
It's a pretty darn good team.
We got a good ball club
that we have over
We got
here.
what's called a lengthened lineup.
We're pretty lucky.
Yes, we are.
We are.
Oh, and by the way, Brady running the board back in the studio.
Yeah, Brady. I
Unbelievable.
didn't even get there
Phenomenal
yet.
job.
Awesome job, Brady.
A+ work.
Yep.
A+ work for
Big time.
Brady all this week.
Okay.
Now, I don't know what that's going to look like next week. I don't know what that's going to look
I
like.
mean, I think Tucker just came to be added to the discussion.
And of all those people, Tucker's the best boy of any of them. All right.
Everybody. And we welcome to the ring from parts unknown, 6 foot, $165.
Right on. Wow.
That's exactly what it is.
He's the.
I know my height and weight.
Guy.
I know my stuff.
6 foot, $165.
Lawrence Salk.
What was it before the heart attack?
Huh?
What was it before the heart attack?
About 173, 174.
You're only down 8 pounds?
Well, I was down to 155,
There
and then went back up.
He built the muscle back
Your
up.
mother fattened me up.
Oh, boy.
She did that for me most of my childhood.
Hey, this isn't about Jane, okay? This is not.
What have you brought with
this
you?
is not
Well,
about anybody.
I just
This is
want
about
you to know,
Yeah.
this is really.
What have you brought with you?
I brought my glove today, and
Okay.
the reason I did is because.
First baseman's mitt.
Well, yeah, I didn't want to bring my other glove, but Brock, this is really to protect you in case any more foul balls come over here.
Yes. Oh,
Right.
thank
I figured
you.
I could reach out.
Uh-huh.
You can get hit. Maura and Brock.
You are such
I'm
a
all
liar.
over.
That is not why you brought that glove.
It is why I
You
brought
are lying to our audience already.
What did you think I brought it for?
In case Perry Hill stops by and you can get a lesson from him the way Jackson did last year.
Yeah.
Don't even think about lying to the people.
That didn't cross my mind.
You are such a liar. I can't believe you would lie like that.
No, if I was going to talk to Perry, I would have brought my other glove.
I
Believe me.
can't believe you wouldn't tell the truth about your desire to be coached by Perry Hill.
No, I would.
Mariners infield
I
coach.
would like to be.
Oh,
I
and
would like.
here
To
come the notes.
Oh my God! Look at they're printed.
I want you to take
this is fantastic.
No, I want you to hold this. I don't want you to show it to Mike.
Okay.
Because you and I will have a little discussion about this in a minute.
Okay.
What do you want to talk about? I'm here. You got me for 10, 12 minutes. Let's roll.
Who said it was 10 to 12?
You told me you need
8.
it. I can do whatever you want.
All right. You said you had things you wanted to say, things you wanted to get off your chest.
Turning over a new leaf.
Oh, you are?
I'm turning over a new leaf. I want you to know.
Does this mean you're going to stop arguing with your dog?
I want you to know that it's a beautiful day. We've been here now in Arizona for about 4 months, another month to go. Everything is pleasant. Everything is wonderful. Everything is copacetic.
Yeah.
I don't want to fight with you. I don't want to argue with you. I don't want to have to defend myself. So what I did was I wrote out everything I was going to say today.
Yes.
And then coming over in the car, I decided, you know what? I'm not going to do this.
Really?
But I wanted the reason I brought the notes and I gave them to Brock.
You think Brock can do it?
No. I felt that if your listeners or you felt that I was begging off or chickening out, Brock can attest to the fact. Was I ready to roll here? I was ready to roll. Am I right?
Yes, you were.
Why are you? It does feel like you're kind of chickening out.
No, I just felt that, we can talk about some more fun things. We can go over the Larry Salk rule. I was talking to Lau before. He says he wasn't really sure how that worked. I said, I'd be happy to explain it on the air.
Okay.
And so rather than just going back and forth with you, which we do all the time anyway, I just figured let's put that aside.
Yeah.
And you can fodder for your show. That's fine.
You know what people don't know? My dad and I spent a good 10 minutes walking around each of the rooms and each of the closets in the upstairs part of their house here, just trying to find the right pillow. We spent longer than you would imagine.
Is that
walking
on my?
around
Is that
trying
on
to
my
find
sheet?
The right pillow.
Brock, isn't that on my sheet?
me
It's
see
down
here.
at the bottom.
How many pillows did we offer Mike this week before he finally chose one that was to his satisfaction?
Yep, it took
10,
a while.
11,
All right.
12. Do you know the story of the Princess and the Pea?
Yes. This coming from a person who shipped a pillow to my house up in Seattle so that whenever he visits, the pillow's there waiting for him with a sign that says, Larry Salk's pillow, do not touch.
I believe that's more considerate than making
Thank
someone
you.
tear apart their
And
entire
I want
house
you to know,
to find the right one.
I sent a new pillow to your wife this morning.
That was nice of
The
you.
new pillow
To
that
replace the old one?
Yeah, because the old one I don't like that one anymore.
So this
Did you
sounds-
send it with the other junk that you wanted me to keep around my
No, I
house?
sent
so
this
that
right to your wife.
This
She'll
sounds
finish.
like point number 4 here, Larry.
Go ahead.
Remember, Mel Brooks, the iconic comedic actor, wrote famously, "We
Walk this
mock
way."
the things we are to be."
Mel Brooks wrote that?
Yes, and as a matter of fact, you kind of referred to this yesterday on the show, am I right? So you're 40, 6, 7, whatever it is. I hope I'm around to see you in 20, 25 years.
I hope you are,
Because I'm
too.
going to remind you of all of this stuff.
You think I'm going to be constantly complaining about the amount of
The
noise
progressive
everywhere?
commercial. Yeah.
The noise. Well, we can't go there. It's too loud.
Oh, interesting noise. I think that's on here as well. That's number 2, my noise obsession. My hearing is still excellent.
Thank you,
almost,
Brock.
It is good.
almost frankly, too good.
I don't
Yes.
I don't
think
have
at
to
my
make these
age,
arguments. He's
I'm
doing it for
entitled
me.
to a little peace and quiet. And by the way, it's Gran Torino, not Gran Camino.
Oh, you're right. Gran Torino. Yes. Yeah, you looked that
Yes.
up, I'm sure.
Did not look it up.
Oh, you just remembered it?
I know I've seen the movie.
I
3 or
thought
4
it was
times.
impressive the way you couldn't remember something I had said no more than 3 minutes earlier.
No, it's short-term memory is shot. Long-term memory is fine.
It's unfortunately too good.
There's also something called selective memory.
Yeah.
I remember things that I think are going to be important, But what happened 2 or 3 minutes ago? That's
Clearly,
gone.
clearly not all that important.
All right, so what else you want to talk about?
Geez, I don't know. Do you want to explain the Larry Salk rule again for those that don't know it or understand
I
it?
see Lyle is standing over here. I'd be more than happy to explain.
All right,
So,
please explain it so Lyle understands
here's
the
the
Larry
deal.
Salk rule.
With the season coming up in the next few weeks, you're going to have some late nights because people are going to be staying up, hopefully, to watch the Mariners
Late
game.
nights, like what's that? 7:30, 8 o'clock for you now?
9:30. But if you have to get up early to go to work the next day, or you're just exhausted from working, here's the deal: if your team that you root for is ahead by 3 or more runs going into the 9th inning,
3 or more,
usually 3
you
or more.
can't do it for 1 or 2 run save.
No, I don't think so. I think
This is a new change to the Larry Salk rule. You're getting softer.
I think that at 1 or 2 runs, anything can happen.
Larry clearly brought his glove in case desserts were thrown into the crowd.
I brought my own dessert. What are you talking about?
Of course you
brought
did.
a whole thing of brownies. Your mother was up till 2 in the morning making brownies.
Yeah, they're melting. Get them into the
You have to
shade.
get them out of the sun. They'll be melted in a minute.
All right. Sorry. So if your team is up and the closer comes in.
Right. You expect them to win. I mean, this is what your closer does. You expect them to hold
That's
the
his
other
job.
team to no less than a couple of runs, you win the game. So you turn off the television and you go to sleep. And the reason you do that is so that if he does blow the save and you lose the game, you're upset, you're up all night thinking about it, you lose another few hours of sleep. Next morning you get up, you're grumpy. So the Larry Salk rule is you go to sleep when your team is up by a few runs in the 9th inning.
Right. Only in the regular season.
That's exactly
This
what
does
I was
not
gonna say.
apply to
No.
postseason baseball.
Postseason, you watch it to the bitter end. World Series, of course, you're watching it right
And
to
part of the thinking is if they win, they were supposed to win. You already
Right.
assume they won.
Yes, you already assume they won.
If they blow the game and lose, you don't have to watch it, and you're going to be happy you missed it.
Right.
If they blow the game and tie it up, and then your team wins later,
okay,
it's
so-
only a regular season.
Right, and if they lose later, it's even worse.
Even worse, because now you've stayed up even later.
Right.
Now, has this changed at all with the stupid ghost runner on second rule so the games don't go as long?
A little bit. They definitely don't go as long because you start with a runner at second base in the 10th inning, and it's base hit and he's in, and that's it.
How do you feel about the ABS challenge system for balls and strikes?
I like it. I like it. I do. But having watched the game with you the other day live on Sunday, I also agree that only the catcher really should be allowed to challenge the pitch because the pitcher can't see, and certainly nobody else can see.
Right.
The batter, maybe. I guess.
I don't know. That outside corner looks pretty rough.
Yeah,
for
it's
the batter.
tough. It
Did
is
you
tough.
hear the umpire yesterday? Some umpire,
was great.
there was a challenge called. It was called a ball, and the catcher challenged it because he thought it was a strike. They looked at it. It was still a couple inches outside, and the ump goes, the challenge is, or the call has been confirmed. It was surprisingly a ball.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just crushing them.
It was so
Oh,
good.
they don't like this at all.
they don't like it. I'm sure they don't like it.
don't
No,
like
I'll
it
tell you what
at
else
all.
someone doesn't like
Yeah.
is very clearly in our sleepy little town of Wayland, Massachusetts, quote unquote, service stations close at 9. The staff goes home, the island lights are turned off, and the pumps are actually shut down.
No.
So asking if a gas station is open at night seems to me to be a fairly legit question.
I thought we weren't going to rehash some of this stuff.
Oh, I apologize.
It is weird how you hadn't been to a gas station in 35 years since they came out and asked whether you wanted leaded or unleaded gasoline.
I'm still waiting for the
Oh,
Texaco
well-
guys to come out and wash off the windshield.
Well, that's funny because the only time in recent years I've gotten gas later than 11 was driving back from New York on the Mass Pike, I-90 at 2 a.m. after landing at JFK.
That's right.
And were the gas stations open?
Yeah, well, I knew they would.
Oh,
It was on the Pike.
That
I mean,
was
you
good
know.
to hear. If it was on the Pike, then everything is fine.
Right.
A lot of texts coming in.
Okay.
Let's see. Mike Salk's dad? Really? Talk about filling up airtime. I listen for quality information about Seattle sports. Nah, just kidding. He was actually more engaging than Mike is. Larry Salk's dad is the best part of the Brock and Salk show. Oh, my God. The Larry Salk, people are excited. Is exactly the same as Mike's when he doesn't hear something either. So
Exceptional hearing your father has.
exceptional.
Give him some grace.
You should see my dad if and when he gets into a hotel and he finds out that his room is going to be near the elevator. Oh,
Salk,
you would think it was a personal
Salk, do you
affront.
know a little something
Do you know
about
how loud it's going to be? There's going to be constant dinging and the people coming up and
He
down
has
and
to
they're
have
going
the
to be
last
walking in
word.
and out.
He has to have the last word.
What was
But
Dan Wilson's first pillar? Grace.
Grace.
Grace, Salk.
Right.
Give your father some grace.
That's right.
I love my father.
Yeah.
And my mom, too. I love you guys.
And give her a hug.
Yeah.
Crying out loud.
All right, maybe after the show. I'm in game mode right now. Bump and Stacy are coming up next. We have one more show tomorrow with, thankfully, Julio Rodriguez. And it looks like Ben Williamson's going to join the show tomorrow as well. We'll see you guys at 6 a.m. Until then, the hay.
In the barn.
See you, everybody.
Get to the chopper!
All teams on the East Coast are better and more important and deserving of full coverage, and we've always said this.
Bump and Stacy, weekdays 10 to 2.
It's true. Clearly. I love me some East Coast teams.
I love East Coast bias. It's not even bias, it's just truth.
It is.
You know how I feel about my East Coast teams.
No, I'm just aggressive because of the East. I like the East Coast aggressiveness.
Yeah,
that is
same.
who I am.
I want to try to mimic it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hear the show anytime on demand by subscribing to the Bump and Stacy podcast.
Lee Johnson Auto.
Hey, it's Jason Rance. I'm here with our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn of None Better Tax Resolution. When you're dealing with business owners and the idea that they owe money to the IRS and they feel like they might be letting their staff down, and it just spirals out of control.
One thing I see with businesses, it's really tough because they have employees and maybe they're having a difficult time with the cash flow of the business. Then unfortunately, what a business often does is they quit making their payroll tax deposits, which is really about the worst thing you could be doing. I mean, it's a telltale sign if you're doing that. Hey, get someone that can help you kind of look at your business and see if things can be changed.